This is Drink Talk, where we try to solve the world's problems one drink at a time. Each week in this podcast, the topics of today and tomorrow are discussed while we sample some of the finest libations known to man. Join us. We are your hosts, Brian and Britt.
Check us out. We've got some volume issues going on here.
All right.
Yeah, I got to turn it down. If you're going to watch us live, Brian, you got to know the rules of the etiquette here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Drink Talk.
I didn't have my iPad before, so we just got back from that trip.
I know, it was so dirty.
I know.
Like,
that's what happens when you
were
let kids
Were they
play with
rolling it around underneath the car or something?
It looks like it got stepped on, but then you notice that there's little scratch marks all over it, so they were picking at the felt.
That's what you get for letting your kids play with your iPad.
It makes me want to do the same thing.
Yeah, right?
It's already messed up. What's a little couple more scratches?
Well, all right. Those that are joined with us now, we're doing a fun little topic like this is actually kind of part two.
Yeah, we've done
an uplifting news is what we're going to do. With so much of bad things going on in the news today, we wanted to talk about good things and good vibes. And we're also going to talk about family. Oh, the sweatshirts. Did the sweatshirts bring it out?
We're all sporting the gear.
That's right. And then we'll also talk a little bit about our religions and then Easter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. 'Tis the season.
'Tis the season. It is Easter.
But first,
in
true Drink Talk fashion, we will be doing the drinks. Today's drink, we're going to give some mad props out to Twisted Cork. Daryl out at Twisted Cork got us this. If you are in Omaha, it is there at about 102nd and Pacific area. It's
amazing food, by the way.
Oh, yeah, very amazing food. They're from Seattle, and I had posed a question to our father, who is actually watching.
Hi,
Hello.
Dad.
And I asked him, since we were doing wine on the topic today, I said, hey, can you suggest any good wines? Because I like drinking wine, but I'm not as knowledgeable as I should be probably about wine. I know some of the tricks that he's taught me about it, but you get me in a room full of wine, I'm like, what's the coolest label? So I asked him for a suggestion for that, and I said, and almost more importantly, I need one with a good story. So he talked to Daryl out at the Cork, and Daryl totally delivered. I haven't tasted it yet, but the story is really cool on this one.
I agree.
So we'll bring that up here in a little bit. We will be drinking on
suspense.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. So the name of this wine is Sinister Hand.
Thank you.
It is by Owen Roe Winery out of Washington. And we have two separate bottles today. We have the 16-year, which is what we're going to be drinking on first, and we have the 15-year. And we're going to see what the differences are on the back, because actually the percentages of the mix, it's not a true like Merlot or Zinfandel. It's just a red blend wine, and it's the blend is on the back, the percentages.
Yeah.
Go ahead and try and pronounce that.
I'm going to let you read that one.
63% Grenache. 16 Shiraz. 16% Mourvedre. We'll go with that. 5%
Mourvedre.
Sin Salt.
Mourvedre. Dad's gonna
Sin
show
Salt.
us.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, Dad.
Anyway, those wines.
All
that are
red
in there.
wines. Yeah.
Look it up if you're interested. Sinister Hand.
Yep, by Owen Roe. That's OWENROE. 2 words.
And it's
winery.
kind of got a morbid what am I thinking? The movie.
Well, it's a gauntlet, but it's a severed gauntlet.
What I'm picturing in my mind is In Search of the Holy Grail. You've got no arms, you know.
Well, I was thinking more Army of Darkness.
Ooh, that too. Yeah. I mean, it's got a glove that a knight would wear, and it's all made of metal. So yeah, and it's just chopped off with blood dripping.
Right. Well, so that leads us kind of into the story of this. While we let the wine breathe here a little bit. Yes. Does it have good legs?
Sorry, I did not have a decanter.
That's all right. We'll let it breathe.
At first sip, you
It's
you
very
always
aromatic.
whenever you crack open a bottle of wine, and when cracking open a bottle of wine, I always suggest a 2-tiered system for doing that. This is a little double hinge system. Open it up, pour yourself just a little dab. Make sure that you've taken a drink of water, you have a clean palate. Have something, maybe even a piece of cheese. Something that you've wiped your whole palate, and you have or chocolate. Chocolate would be a great one. And then sample it, because you always want to sample it, because you don't want to pour all these out, or pour them, and then it's bad wine, and you're like, oh, whoops, sorry, everybody's got to pour their cup out now.
Mourvedre. Is that how you pronounce it?
Mourvedre.
All right.
Mourvedre. Yeah,
Mourvedre.
Mourvedre.
All right.
Okay.
We're gonna,
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. And we're going to clinky before we drinky.
That's right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh.
Very smooth. Fruity notes. Easy on the palate.
Not too shabby.
Yeah. I mean,
Drinkability
There's
is high.
kind of actually a lot going on there.
I'd almost go Petite Syrah on this. It's a very light red. I wouldn't. It's not bold in
Sweet.
flavor. Yeah, it's not earthy. It's not like a Merlot. It's not nothing like that.
It's not too dry either. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't like it if it's too dry. And then I feel like it sticks to my tongue.
Yeah, that mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very smooth, very drinkable. It's got a lot of flavor, but it's still smooth. Which
I
is
think it's
kinda
funny
cool.
when people say it's too dry. I'm like, it's wine.
wet.
It's wet.
How's
No,
it
just
dry?
kidding. I know what you mean by dry.
All right, so let's talk about the story behind this wine, because I'm always about the
Yes,
story.
I'm
of
actually
this
very interested, because you said that you had a story behind this.
Yep.
And
So there were these two families. This is back in the 17th century in Ireland, and they were trying to both have rights to this land. I believe it was an island. And in order to see who would have the rights to the land, they decided to do a rowing competition. And so they went, and one boat was falling behind, so one of the sons in the boat took out a sword, chopped off his hand, threw it to the island, and they were the first ones to touch the island.
Oh.
And now still have the rights to the island. And that's why you have a severed gauntlet hand
oh
on
my
there.
gosh, that's hilarious.
And then here is their coat of arms, which actually has a bloodied severed hand.
Well, yeah,
on
I
it.
mean, you take it to the grave, literally, on this one. Like, hey, son, you chopped off my arm. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did his own. He chopped off his own hand.
Oh well, even
Yeah.
wow,
Chop-
that's even worse.
Chopped off his own hand and
Yeah.
threw it. But now the family still, and this was back in the 17th century.
Honey, I had to do it.
Yeah, they still have the rights to the land. It's a crazy cool story.
O'Reilly.
Yep.
Oh, is it O'Reilly? Is the last name?
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Nice.
So yeah, like I said, big shout out to Daryl and Laura, his wife from Seattle, out there at Twisted Cork. Do you know they're expanding again? They've expanded before.
Yes.
First, they started off as this little bistro, and then they expanded to the next bay, and they started kind of like a bar area, and now they're expanding
super
again.
nice.
Yeah. So then the next bay over, they're just waiting for that tenant to leave, and they've got plans to expand in there again. So
Nice.
so you know they're doing something right if they've already expanded once and they're looking at
Yeah,
doing
well, I always thought they always needed more space in that place, because I mean, when you go there on a weekend, even during the weekday, it's busy. It's hey, can I find? Oh, I'll just go sit at the bar. That's fine, But
right.
I like that big giant table they have in there.
Well, and the flavors that Daryl puts together, I like. Dad's a big fan of theirs, and he eats there a lot. And they serve local, natural food, handcrafted ales, spirits, plus Pacific Northwest wines is basically what they do that. But there is no flavor profile that is elevated above another one.
And I don't know if you
all
Right.
the blend.
And I don't know if you talked about this, but they go to Seattle, Washington all the time. They're, avid people. Are they
Well,
even
that-
from Washington?
Yeah, Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
And that's where they got this wine is
Yeah.
from Washington.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
great
if,
food.
If you're in the area of 102nd and Pacific, there near the I think it's the Ethan Allen.
Yeah, it's
It's
right
near
across
there.
from Ethan Allen.
Yeah. So and there's a hotel in there, but yeah.
I
Shaker
was just saying
Plaza.
it's right
Shaker
by
Plaza is the
Regency.
name.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
Shaker Plaza.
All right. Yeah, this is good wine. Well done, Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
And much kudo props to Father for actually
Aja.
purchasing
Oh.
the wine for the talk.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
Dad.
was actually at Costco, checking out all the wines. I was like, maybe I should get. And then a lonely voice in the background, mother, she's all, Brian's got the wine. I'm like, how do you even know about this? Well,
Word
he's
gets
with
around.
Father right now. I'm like, oh, how
Well,
ironic.
Well, that's our second topic that we're going to talk about later in the talk. Family.
Family. First, we should talk about some fun news.
Yes, fun news.
Yeah.
Well,
Uplifting
there's a
news.
couple other
Happy
things I want to
news.
get to and before we get there.
Oh,
So
okay.
because
Don't let me rush you.
Today is Easter.
It
So,
is.
I feel like we need.
We should bring that up to
Just
the
a little.
forefront.
and that's kind of why I chose the wine.
Oh,
Easter.
turning water into wine. That's something I can get behind.
He knew how to party
Yeah.
for sure. No, yeah, Easter, this is the culmination of Holy Week. They also call it Resurrection Sunday. And those of you that are religious know that Jesus died on Good Friday, rose 3 days later on Easter, and that's what we celebrate today. Or we celebrate bunnies and chocolate little eggs.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Because
It's
bunnies are getting it on with turkeys and or chickens, and they're making eggs. I don't get it.
Yeah, not really sure. So
Yeah, not sure how that.
The video today at church was hilarious.
Oh yeah, the kids. Yeah, that was good. It is also the end of Lent, which at the beginning of Lent, I said what I was planning on to give up for Lent. I gave up social media, news, and talk radio for Lent.
Which you kind of gave up social media. You kind
Right.
of still have to be on it for our show, but
Right.
you kind of stayed off of it personally.
I was checking notifications.
You were doing it for business.
Right. And the loophole was when I opened the app, whatever was on the top. Obviously you'll look at that. So
Yeah.
that I would look
And
at
usually
that.
the top is your family or friends. The ones you keep more in contact
Usually it was Erika.
with. Ah.
Well, she only
Guilty.
she only posts like 50 times a day.
I know, right?
What if?
And like 45 of those are of my children.
So funny thing is, it's actually April Fool's Day today.
Also April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Which we're celebrating Easter because Jesus died on the cross. He was put in the tomb, and then he rose again. And one of the pastor, the pastor of the church that we go to, he was kind of telling funny stories, and he said, some people think that it was a lie that God rose himself. Some of the lies that people are telling are God only suffered a minor flesh wound, but cured himself in the tomb, shoved the rock away, beat up the guards. Or Jesus. What did I say, God?
Well,
it's one and the same.
Yeah.
One of the same.
The Trinity, part of the Trinity.
And then another story would be the ladies that were going to the tomb to see
Mary.
Mary, that they went to the wrong tomb. They went left, and they should have gone right. So they just went to the wrong tomb, and he just wasn't there. Just a lot of funny little quirky stories, that the pastor was talking about, and I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it is kind of unfortunate that April Fool's. Apparently, April Fool's, the last time it fell on Easter was
that was my next question.
1959.
Oh,
You know when the next time it happens? In 11 years.
well,
Yeah, weird.
yeah.
I don't know. I wonder if it has to do with, I don't know.
Yeah, what does it have to do with?
We're getting
add a day, but
we're
every
getting
4
closer to
years.
the sun. I don't know.
Speaking of all that, there was also a full moon last night.
Was
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was. I had to go into work, which was supposed to be my day off, but things happen. And I was driving. I was like, "Man, the moon looks huge right now." And I went, "When's the next full moon?" And I went, "Boop, today." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that makes more sense."
There we go. There we go.
I can't see it from my house. There's too many trees in the way.
You just removed all your trees. Anyway,
My trees.
let's-
Yes.
let's get into some uplifting news. We're getting off topic here. So, I told Britt earlier this week, even though I've been off social media, I still, you still get the news. I mean, whether
Sure,
it's
there's
emails,
other ways of getting it.
people talk. I mean,
You get the newspaper at work, Brian.
Yeah.
I get it. You still get news.
right. So, there has been a lot, between the school shootings and what's going on in Washington right now and around the world. So I decided let's just do another
something
uplifting
nice.
news. Yeah, another uplifting news topic. And so I posed this to all of our family that you should pick out a few. So,
Speaking of talking about news, I was actually sitting with Grandma today, and she's all like, "I'm so glad they have the newspaper. Otherwise I just wouldn't know much of nothing." I was like,
when
"What do you?"
when did Grandma get a Southern accent?
Right?
Yeah, right. I don't know. That's just my grandma voice. Anyway, she was telling me about some people who passed away, and since there's an obituary in there, she can see that obituary. I said that right.
Okay.
And then also she found out that there was an anniversary of a couple that she knew the wife, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's their anniversary! Let's go spend it with them." So I thought I'm like, "Grandma, the newspaper's kind of dying because, like, we have these things called phones and computers that can connect us to the internet and tell us these news things. But I just thought it was so cute that she's loving the newspaper and how it's delivered right to her front door. I'm like, there's so much easier ways, Grandma.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to get on the computer, and I understand that. That's fine.
You don't even have to walk down the driveway to get the newspaper.
Well, she said it's really nice because they actually throw it up against her garage door now. So all she has to do is open the garage, and it's right there.
Log online. And
I know.
Well,
She's got a
I
computer.
don't think Grandma even has a computer.
Yeah, she does.
Does she?
Yeah, Dad gave it to her.
Oh.
Yeah, she's got one. She's got a Gateway 2000.
does it have like a dual floppy? Is that
Right.
Probably.
yeah, the boot up disc?
The
and
green
program?
screen.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, who wants to start?
I'll start.
All
start.
All right.
Sad news turned good. Man was about to commit suicide, jumping off a bridge. 3 kids came up to him, and it was all like, yo, 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 talked him down, and now they're going to be awarded some national, medal.
I heard about that.
How old are the kids?
They're younger.
Young.
Yeah.
I would say
Grade school, middle school?
10, 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So 3 kids.
Kudos to them.
Where was
Three
that
good
at?
friends, I'm sure.
Do you have
England.
England.
In
England has been in a lot of the uplifting, positive news that I
Hi, Nancy. Sorry,
saw.
just gotta say hi.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Hey guys.
Hey.
No, I did read about that one. I saw that one come across, and that was really cool.
Like, way to turn a bad story into a good story, because it could have ended badly.
Yeah. I wonder how that guy's doing now.
Hopefully he's seeking treatment, or he's got family or friends around that can help him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on you guys.
Yeah.
We're going counterclockwise or
Yeah,
clockwise?
I got.
Okay, you go.
Of course, mine are mostly probably going to consist of animals.
Cat lady.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so this happened today. Actually, I take that back. This happened 5 days ago. So this guy lost his cat 14 years ago in a hurricane. The Hurricane Janine, right? Gene.
Way to do your research.
In 2004. And he lost his cat. He figured that it got 2004.
I know, but Katrina was 5. That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
And lost his cat. Figured it had gotten killed on the highway. They had to evacuate for the hurricane. 14 years later, this cat shows up in this person's front yard, and they kind of take it in. It seems like it wants to be in the house. They can't have it in the house because they have a dog. They end up cleaning it up, taking it into the vet, and they scanned it for a microchip, and were shocked to see that this cat was 16 years old. First of all, they thought
I was
this
just
cat...
going to say, that's an old cat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they thought this cat was maybe 2 or 3 because it was tiny and skinny. They thought it was a little kitten. It was, rambunctious. And so they tracked down the
Been living
guy.
on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
They tracked down the guy that was the owner, and he ended up driving 40 minutes down to get the cat. And he said the second he walked around the corner, the cat just ran up to him and
Oh wow.
knew who he was
There you are,
and has
friend.
not left his side.
You got my kibbles.
It's just
You owe me 15 years of kibbles.
so yeah, he lost him when he was 2.
Wow.
And I got him back when he was 16.
That's crazy.
And his name
cool.
is T2.
T2.
is the cat.
Nice.
So
Must
I
have
thought
been a
that
Terminator
was,
fan.
That was really neat. I love seeing the human-animal bonds, and
Full circle.
it's neat.
Did you hear Stan Lee lost his dog, and then there was some NFL, big time retired NFL football player that found it and returned it to him. Yeah. Yeah. Happened not too long ago. I saw that one. The one that I had, I don't know if you've seen the viral picture. This happened at Waffle House.
Perfect. I love every story from Waffle House.
Yes, yeah. I have some stories from Waffle House.
I do too.
Oh boy, some
They're
bad,
usually
bad
3 in the
decisions.
morning, 2 in the morning
Yeah,
decisions.
terrible decisions. This comes from Lamarck, Texas, and there was an 18-year-old, Giovanni Williams. She works at the Waffle House, and there was an elderly patron there, and he couldn't cut up his ham, so he asked her to if she could help. And there's a picture of her just cutting the ham. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
But that picture went viral.
I was just going to say, if somebody asked if I was a waiter or waitress, or I'd be a waiter, I wouldn't be a waitress. if somebody asked me, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, you need help cutting? Sure, like, no big deal. But that's awesome that it went viral.
Went viral, and now she's getting actually, there was the Texas Southern University. She's 18 years old, and Texas Southern University offered her a $16,000 scholarship.
Wow.
To go there, and she'd like to study business, so now she could get a chance. And the mayor even announced March 8th, which is when this actually happened, as Giovanni Williams Day.
Nice.
Wow. Good on. I don't know how big
age
we'll
18.
I know, that's super cool, so good on her.
Yeah.
So there is this website out there. It's called Donors Choose. It's kind of like a crowdfundme, like a GoFundMe kind of website. Every single teacher that was on there got their donation. $29 million. There was this Ripple. It was a the Bitcoin, like the
Cryptocurrency?
Cryptocurrency.
Yeah, donated $29 million and just crowdfunded all of them. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
nice job.
That's great. Before the crash of the
I'm sure. Well, it's what is it? It's almost April 20th or 21st. It's tax time. It's like I just got to April 16th.
Yeah,
just got to get rid of that money. You know, I understand.
Get that out of here. Yeah.
Just donate to them.
Yep.
Done.
And I can write it off.
Yep.
$23 million write-off. No problem.
That's crazy.
29 million.
Wow, 29 million. That's crazy cool.
There's those days that I'm like, if I won the lottery, who would I, like, what charities would I choose? Because that would obviously be a big thing for me to be able to help out others.
I've heard, and I don't know how true this is, but I think there is some validity to it. But I think that, and I don't know if it's relatives of Bill Gates, but basically he has like an RV, and they just travel around the nation. And I don't know if it's his parents or somebody. It's somebody related to him, and their job is to seek out people that need money and write checks.
That's cool.
Like, that's a cool job, right?
How can we get rid of money?
Side note, you're talking
Drive
about.
around and give it away.
Side note, you're talking about Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
And that made me think of Warren Buffett.
Mm-hmm.
So Eric told us this quick story the other day about how when his grandma Winther was growing up, her family owned a farm down in southern Nebraska, and Warren Buffett's parents paid her parents to have him come live on their farm for 2 weeks and teach him about ranch life and working with his hands.
First, you start by putting on a boot,
But I
and
thought
then
that
you
was
put
kind
the
of
other
cool
boot
that,
on.
We're gonna work up the calluses in the first week,
right.
In the second
And you start to think, though, too, like, did that, maybe help pave the way for his ambitions and work ethics as he got older?
No, that's
you
great.
never know.
You never know. Piggybacking on this, if I won the lottery thing, there was an 18-year-old up in Quebec.
Yeah,
and she won the lottery.
First lottery ticket she ever bought.
First one.
$1,000 for life.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
What?
Was it $1,000 a week?
$1,000 a week for
Yeah.
life.
Mm-hmm.
That's $4,000
Yeah,
a month.
I should have clarified that. Not $1,000 for life.
Right.
You get $1,000
For life.
For life.
Per week. So she gets $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like
For life.
Yeah, that's
For
like
life.
the ideal job. Like
Yeah.
you're not having to do anything.
Even
Well,
after taxes,
Depending
that's
on
pretty
your
good.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Well, see, at that point, she didn't take the lump sum, which takes tons of taxes out. She took the smaller portion, which, $1,000, a tax out of that, maybe
20%.
she gets $800 or something. Yeah, $800 or something. But still, that's $800 a week.
Well, and I know,
great.
depending on where she lives in Canada, but you can still have another job. Too.
Yeah, taxes are different
Yeah.
in Canada.
Yeah.
They aren't like the United States.
Well, and have you seen some of those house hunting shows where they're out in like Toronto and cost of living there is just like ridiculous. So.
Yeah.
We'll live in the boonies then.
But still, yeah. I mean, if you're getting $4,000 a month free, and then even minus taxes, not too bad, and then go get another job, and doesn't matter what that job is, you got
Or
an extra.
even part-time and still being able to enjoy life and travel. And
that's what she said she was going to do: is travel, do all that stuff.
I wonder if life. I wonder if life means life, or if there's like a year limit, like life or 30 years.
What is it? Optimus has that song. Life is life.
I don't know.
Primus, something like that. Somebody like that.
Something. All right, is my go?
Yes, you're up. I kind of skipped Erika because I did.
Oh, did you go?
I have another animal one. So
Did
if
you go?
want-
All right, go ahead and go then.
That's a new word. Did you go? Did you go?
Okay, so yes, another animal one. This happened in South Carolina, and this guy was out with his friends. They were boating, and a guy stood up too fast and ended up capsizing the boat.
How small is this boat?
I don't know.
Wow.
It just says a small.
Gotta be a little rowboat.
Sorry, you're a little close to the mic. I was just bringing it away just a little bit.
Stand back here.
Yeah. Further away be better. No, you're fine. Get up here.
Yes.
On the way.
Could you lean against the pool table and then just project?
There you go. Go ahead and do what you need to do.
Better?
There you go.
Am I too far away now?
No.
Okay.
For some reason, we're on crazy loud mode here. So.
Okay. So, anyways,
I kept inching your mic down and down and down. I was like, no, I can't go any further. I gotta yank it away from her.
She's got the.
You guys normally tell me to like eat the mic. So.
Yeah. No. Well, I've adjusted everything, and everything's tuned perfectly.
Adjusting them.
Okay.
And twisting and turning knobs.
Well.
Anyway, South Carolina.
Anywho, so all the guys get back to this dock except for one, and they're all swimming against the current.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy's legs start to cramp up, and he's like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna. So he flips over on his back and starts praying, and all of a sudden he hears this dog barking from the dock, and the dog jumps in the water and starts swimming over to him, and he's thinking, I'm going to end up drowning this dog right along with me. Mm-hmm. You know, this dog's going to drown trying to save my life from drowning. And the dog, without ease, it was a golden retriever, pulls him right back up to the dock. And he said he was glued to my side for a while, and I came back to visit, and I said he's getting a well-deserved steak from me pretty soon.
Nice.
So this golden retriever saved this 24-year-old's life.
That's cool.
That is great.
Swimming up current in freezing cold water.
Nice.
And got him back to the dock. I thought it was really neat.
That is really good. I do like those fun. You know, this is kind of making humor of it, but I love those videos where like people are swimming in like swimming pools, and like the dog jumps in because
they think that they're drowning.
Yeah, those are funny videos.
That would not be my dog.
Speaking of drowning, not that this will ever happen to me, but
never.
I just
say never
again. Yeah, that was good, Brian. Nice job. I was YouTube videos and all that stuff coming across my feed, and all of a sudden it stumbled upon this. If you fall through ice, and I was like, I don't know if I fall through ice. So this guy deliberately lets himself fall through the ice. You know, he's in this hole, and he's breaking ice everywhere. And I was like, he's like, all right, I'm going to teach you how to get out of this scenario if you're here by yourself. And so he's like, first of all, you need to just calm down. It's going to be freezing. It is. But the more you panic, the more you're going to break ice around you, and the more you're not going to be able to get out. And he said, what you're going to do is just calm down and just breathe. You know,
the shock of that ice is going to make it hard.
Yeah. It may take just a minute for you to gather your composure, but you're there by yourself. What else are you going to do?
Drown.
Calm down. Put your hands, on either side of the ice. You can lift yourself up a little bit. You can do that. But if you go to push and put your full body weight on it, it's going to break. He goes, what you want to do is you want to spread yourself out as far as you can, and you want to kick your legs, and so that your legs get parallel to the ice. So you're almost kicking the ice behind you. And in fact, if you can kick the ice behind you, it's even better, because then you can kind of kick your way up onto the ice. And he goes, you want to kind of do the snake,
like a whale.
Yeah,
or like, well, yeah, I was going to go with more like sea lion.
and then you can scoot yourself until you feel solid ice, and then work your way up and get up that way. I was like, oh, that's good information to know.
Yeah,
not that I'm going to be walking on ice anytime soon.
I don't know. When's the next time you're going ice fishing?
I've never gone ice fishing. Come on, Eric.
I don't know if Eric's ever been ice fishing.
No? All right, well then Chris. Come on, Chris.
Right, yeah, I'm sure he has.
I'm sure Eric would be up for it. He wouldn't tell you no.
All right, I've got one now.
Yeah.
All right, chemotherapy-free cancer vaccine, in quotes, moves from mice to human trials at Stanford.
They've got a cure for it already. They're just not going to give it to us.
I know it's really tough to do. Cancer, to me, it's a
money making opportunity. Yeah.
Okay, you're going straight. I'm going like actual technical terms here. Like, cancer isn't a thing. Cancer is many things. All it means,
lots of things.
Yeah, it's cells behaving abnormally. That's what cancer is. So, what is cancer? Well, it's a lot of different things.
This is nice.
It is very nice. It is very nice. Yeah, those of you that I guess we should take a little break.
It's very easy to drink it.
No, we don't. We'll take a little break after we're all done here.
Okay. Well, I was just going to reintroduce the wine, but
yes. Well, we'll reintroduce it when we open the next bottle.
All right.
Hi,
cool.
Mom.
So anyway, at Stanford University, they have tested.
And they're doing great things there.
They are, and this isn't a true vaccine. What it is called is an immunotherapy, which is bolstering your immune system to fight off the cancer. It actually activates the T cells to eliminate the tumors. And at the university, it's been 97% effective in mice. So it's moving from mouse trials to human trials. They're actually gathering volunteers right now to do that. So that's a pretty cool.
That is great.
And that's why I said cancer vaccine in quotes, because it's not really a vaccine. Because once it boosts your immunity, but then once you stop taking it, then that goes away.
But
So
with
it's
that
not
said,
a true vaccine.
But with that said, for those out there that want I'm going to take a pill and I'm going to get better, go ahead and go with that. But there's other ways of, making your body better. AKA our mother knows all about this. What you put in your body is going to affect you. And if you're putting bad things in your body, that cancer is just going to get worse. There are ways to take care of your body to make that cancer go away. And there are many books out there that you can read.
Alkaline.
Some people say that, it's, that's not the work of proper medicine. Well, no, it's just all it is putting good things in your body to make your body be better, and work for itself.
Well, it's because the cancer cells can feed off of the sugars and the acidity in your body and basically, So, yeah, alkalining your body is
Absolutely
very beneficial.
Yeah, I've heard of the vitamin C thing too, where you just take loads of vitamin C. Yeah, heard of that one.
All right, so
next one.
A 36-year-old accountant gets called into the Chicago.
I've seen this movie. Oh wait. Oh, sorry.
36-year-old accountant gets an emergency call to fill in as goalie for the Chicago Blackhawks hockey.
I heard about this.
I saw a clip on my
And he
newsfeed.
did an awesome job.
Yeah, so both the goalies, I think they got hurt during the game.
Yeah.
And so they didn't have any goalies left. So they
knew a guy.
Yeah. They always have somebody on the roster.
Sure.
In a pinch. So they called him, flew him in. I don't know when the last time he practiced was.
But he was awesome.
Yeah, and he did great.
Yeah.
So good on him, man.
Wow.
I'm sure he just got a bigger paycheck than he was expecting. So that's good.
Oh, geez, now it's tax season and I've got.
Well, he's playing for the NFL. Or not NFL, NHL. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's awesome.
Oh, it was a Labrador. Sorry, not a retriever.
Oh.
No. Well,
Anyways.
It was
to me,
Labrador.
to me, I think they're cousins, right?
Something like that.
Labradors and golden retrievers.
So
They're
Katie
cousins.
Sullivan is watching, and I figured maybe I'd talk about this real quick because she sent this to me today. We were talking about this at Mom and Dad's earlier. There was this little girl, 6 years old, and she has been collecting, all her money that she has been
Like allowance and all that.
Well,
How'd you say she was?
6.
Oh, okay.
6 years old, and she wanted to donate to charity water.
Yeah.
And basically, it helps with, helps people that are dying from dirty water. And
Which there's a lot of that. A lot
Right.
more than people think. Flint, Michigan.
now,
Sorry, this is uplifting news. We're not going to talk about that right now. Sorry.
now, the positive aspect of it is, she wanted to donate her life savings
Which,
at
prospectively,
6 years old, because this is just super sweet. Mm-hmm. But it was $8.15.
That's still, for,
And it just warms my heart because to a 6-year-old, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And, it can cost what? Was it like a quarter a day or something like that in our third world countries to help feed, 100 children
I think
or
they
something
said,
like that, or give them
Well,
clean water.
yeah, I was going to say with water, I think the estimate was like $4 billion would give the planet access to clean water. Like
Right.
everybody on
It
the
doesn't
planet.
seem like that much.
It is a lot of money, but if
It's
you
a
think
lot of money, but for the whole world,
right, it's not.
not a lot of money.
No. How much do we spend on ice cream here in the United States? I bet you it's more than
I
$4 billion.
bet you it is too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. So shout out to Katie. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool story.
Yeah. Well done, cuz.
Cool story. Make me a sandwich. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Caught you
You bought me
delicious
that
bass.
shirt.
Did I?
Yeah.
I probably did.
It says his wife or something like that. Cool story. Go make me a sandwich.
I'm not surprised.
All right, my next one is Taco Bell extends education benefits to all employees.
See, I read this, and he was like,
yeah, right.
Well, okay, so there is some caveats to it. All right, they're not paying for free education here for all their employees, but they did announce last Monday they started a partnership with Guild Education, and it will provide education support for all 210,000 employees, which gives them access to personalized college advisors, tuition discounts for thousands of classes, certificates, and degrees. You can earn college credit for on-the-job training, and they are working with 80 online nonprofit universities and learning centers. So is it free education? No. But it's giving them a lot more access.
Gives them help. Yeah, it gives them help, which is good.
And there is discounts on education, but I believe it's all online stuff, which is still good. I'm a product of online education. I got my degree online. So, also, I heard that Taco Bell's delivering through. There's some new delivery service.
Grubhub has
there it is.
done,
Yeah, Grubhub.
But they've done that
for
a while.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they did
Well,
fast food. But
I just started getting back on social media.
So there's like three or four different platforms that deliver food, and one of them is Uber Eats, and it's not here yet. But I'm like, ooh, there you go.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. Where Uber will deliver your food.
Well,
I've used Grubhub before.
Yeah, I've used Grubhub, and there's another one out there as well.
It's great when you have sick kids at home.
Right? What was it, Grubhub, and the other one's something takeout, but whatever.
Oh,
anyway,
and, sorry, Dad actually looked up some facts and figures. Thank you. We don't like doing research on the program. It's nice to have people.
$20 billion annually.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Nice
so
work, Pops.
1/5 of what we spend on ice cream would give clean water to the entire planet.
Isn't that sad,
and
though?
hey, just a big shout out to all that are watching us live on their phones, on their tablets. If you've got Chromecast, there's a little button in the corner. As long as you're on the Wi-Fi, you can throw it right up on your TV and watch us live on your TV. So just FYI.
Don't you want us to see live and in living color?
Well, you know what? That's how I watch the show. There's a button in the corner after I download it. I just throw it up there, you know. But
And what is it on?
If you got a Chromecast or some kind of casting device for your TV,
Yeah.
you can throw
Will
it.
it work on like Firebox?
Yes,
Is that
I believe Fire Stick is a casting device.
I do it
system.
on Apple TV.
Yeah, Apple TV would do it. It's
Fire
called
Stick.
nearing for Apple.
Yep.
It is a Firebox, not a Fire Stick.
Whatever.
I have
It's
the
the same
DVR.
I like a boomstick myself. So.
thing. It said boom for $2 for $4. I was at the gas station by Hy-Vee, and it just said boom on it, and it said $2 for $4, and I'm like, what's boom? Apparently, maybe it's a soda drink or something. I don't know, but it just said boom.
Speaking
2
of
for $4.
boom,
Boom.
all right. Are we heading to the next one? Wow, we went.
Yeah,
through.
we'll go to the next one.
Yeah,
but
he poured the whole
I
bottle.
want to do one more uplifting news, and then we'll get into family and all this sort of stuff.
Well, Brian's got another one.
I've only got
I'm
one more.
excited
too.
about this one. Okay,
This one?
speaking of Katie, too, I've had this conversation with Katie before because I think that her and Mikey should do this.
Well, and Bobby wanted one of these too. But anyway, go ahead, Britt.
An abandoned dog sneaks into a bookstore and steals a book about abandonment.
What?
Not making this up.
That's just funny. I don't know about uplifting, but it's funny.
It's uplifting.
Oh, it's
That is-
uplifting to us.
That's great.
That poor dog. He's trying
Right? I know.
Out of all the books in the bookstore,
Yeah.
he takes a book about
to.
abandonment.
Man, he's like self-therapy right there, man.
Right?
He's like, why was I abandoned?
He's like, I don't need nobody. I got myself.
Oh,
I can take care of me.
all right, well, Britt's cracking that one. I'm going to do this next one. Tiny home project for veterans gaining momentum. So this one comes from Times Record News.
I'm so excited.
This is in and actually there's a lot of these popping up, but this one that I read about was from North Texas, the North Texas Veterans Relief Fund, which is a new.
Do we need new
nonprofit.
cups, or we just use these?
I think we just use these.
Yeah, that's
That's
what I'm
fine.
thinking.
But they are they're calling this project Base Camp Lindsay, and after I believe the gentleman that started it, and they're looking to build 50 small 12 feet by 20 foot houses, so the tiny homes. It's also going to include a community garden, and they're designed for homeless veterans. It's not set up for permanent living, though they can live there permanently if they want to. It's really designed for transitional living for veterans. and it will have handicap accessible homes. And there's actually going to be 10 of the 50. There's going to be 10 of the homes that will be larger for veterans that have families. And it also includes a community center. Right now, they had a 5-year plan, but because of a donation of 3.5 acres, they went from a 5-year plan now to a 2-year plan. They have a goal of $500,000 for the entire project, which, when you think about it, is pretty. That's $15,000, or they have $15,000 currently. That's only $10,000 per home. So that's pretty minimal for a small home if you think $10,000. So I think that's really, really cool, because the veteran, all homeless people, I think, deserve something like this. But the homeless veterans, to me, is a special soft spot, being a veteran myself. So, and this isn't the only place this is going. This is just one in Texas, but I'm sure there's a couple in Texas. There's another one in like Pennsylvania and a couple of other areas.
There's one that I've heard about helping with, just homeless people in general. They can start making monthly payments, and when they get a job, and they can eventually end up buying.
Making it their own. It's not a free thing. It's making it their own. There is some ownership level to it, which is really, really cool, because I think if you have a little ownership to it, then you're going to take better care of it, and all that. I think that's
more pride.
Really, exactly. That was kind of where I was heading.
Pride.
So, perfect. Yeah. All right, so this one is if you
Same thing.
Right, if you just joined us, well,
only,
it's different.
only a year younger.
I know.
It's a year younger.
Yep. So this is again, we're drinking on the Sinister Hand by Owen Roe Winery out of Washington. The first one that we had was the 2016. And the second one that we are just cracked open is the 2015. Now, a year doesn't really seem too much difference, but if you think about wines and grapes and seasons for the grapes and all that, there can be a lot of differences from year to year. And especially if you look at the percentages, because this isn't like a Merlot or a Zinfandel. This is just a red. It's a blend. The blends are completely different in the two. The percentages of what goes into these.
Yeah.
So if you
let's see here. So before it was 63, 16, 16, and 5. This time it's 44, 27, 16, and 13.
Yeah.
So yeah, completely different. I
mean, there's one that's the same, but
yeah. The third one is the 16, but yeah, it should be probably completely different. Just 1 year
now
difference.
for something completely different.
Even though it's the same.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, I didn't really clinky you. My finger was away. There we go. Ching.
Ooh.
Didn't do
it's
this one has more floral notes.
Drier, and it's
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's
less fruity flavor and more floral.
That's crazy.
Still as smooth, like the drinkability. There is a little bit more, like you said, it is a little more drier.
It's got the same flavor.
Drier.
A little more drier.
It's like a dryer sheet.
You sound like Kai. A little more drier, just making sure I get all the ers in there.
Yeah.
Drier.
More drier.
More drier.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
still good wine. Still really good wine. This is good, but I actually would go.
Thank you, Daryl.
I would go with the 16 rather than the 15 myself.
I would too.
Yeah, I'm going to drink this.
This feels
is
a lot
what
more
we have for
like
the show.
it's more complex.
I
think both were. There's a lot of flavor. As smooth as this is, there's a lot of flavor notes going on in here. Which is really cool when it comes to wine. With alcohol, like if you get to spirits, which I'm a big fan of whiskey, but if you get like the heavy alcohol content whiskey, there's a lot of alcohol punch to it. So the subtle notes of flavoring is kind of lost in the alcohol flavor. With wine, which I think this is 13%?
14.1. Both of them are.
Which that's another one of those things. If you find wine, I believe anything under 14% is tax different than anything over 14%.
Yes, Dad explained that to me one time.
So if you find wine that is over 14%, that means they're not adding anything to it like water just to bring it down for tax purposes. They're just saying this is what our wine is.
They care more about their wine.
Exactly. So
14.1.
You could still get crappy wine that's 14.2%. You can still get that, but they're saying this is what we produce. This is what it is. We're not going to worry about taxes. Here's what it is. So I think the chances of you finding a better wine over 14% probably pretty good.
Yeah. Were you with me when Dad explained that to us?
Probably. I mean, he's probably explained it a couple times to us.
Well,
Speaking of wine, I think that it's amazing how wine gets to us. Like how the process of growing the wine and then growing the grapes and then turning it into wine.
I like to
there's
grow wine.
bottles that's sitting on
Just-
the
this
plants.
one's. This one's not quite a 750. I'm gonna.
You all know what I was going for. But then the manufacturing of it and bottling
Is that where the
it.
people stomp the feet on the grapes and they,
Hey.
Mom's done that.
on
she
island-
said it was cool.
Purple feet.
Yeah.
Or
This tastes like feet.
I'm sure they don't serve that wine.
Or hand, as the
Yeah,
case
they
may
do.
be.
Gross.
It goes through a fermenting
I'm
process,
just
and it's not. You're not getting
They
germs.
add
it's
soap
alcohol.
to it, Britt.
Oh yeah, right. Sure, to clean it.
Put a little hand sanitizer in there. That's why it's dry.
There's quite the journey to get this bottle of wine.
There is. If you think about the process. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know how much this costs, but there are a lot of bottles of wine that are, $9, $20.
Boone's Farm.
Well, no, not Boone's Farm. I mean, they're decent wines that are actually fairly cheap. That it's just like,
Hey,
oh my gosh,
there are people that like Kool-Aid for wine. All right,
I
so
know.
Boone's Farm. Don't knock.
Don't knock the
Mm-hmm.
the $4 bottle of wine.
$2 Chuck.
So there's a wine that I like. It's called Menage a Trois.
Yeah.
And it's $9.99 at Hy-Vee. And it's a good red table wine. It's like, if you're not a wine drinker, that would be one, something to start on, is a $10 bottle of wine. But if you think of it, the process of all the things that it has to go through,
I was just going
and you're going to deliver this to me cheaper than I can buy a bottle of vodka or gin that's just processed in a still. This had to be grown, it had to be processed, and it had to be, put in a bottle and sent out for $10.
Well,
not this wine though.
well, and
I'm sure this was a lot more.
Actually, I was going to bring that up because you were bringing up prices of wine,
Yeah.
and I guess we should bring it up. And I bought this from Twisted. Well, I did
Dad,
not.
$4 Chuck.
Dad bought it.
Dad bought this from Twisted Cork.
It's all about family on the show.
It was $28 a bottle,
That's actually reasonably priced
Very
for a
reason-
good wine.
and that was one of my requirements. Was that I want something that tastes good, has a great story, and I want something reasonably priced.
Thanks for the donation, Pops.
Yep. Cheers.
You want other people to be able to.
Yeah, here. Let's
Cheers.
cheers for Dad.
Dad laughed at our $4 check.
Yeah.
I thought it was $2 Chuck.
He said $4 Chuck.
Oh, inflation, right?
Oh, that makes more sense. Gas prices are on the rise right now.
Right. All right. Well, that leads us into our secondary topic for the evening, family.
Family.
Yeah. Thanks for sending me the article on that one.
Family.
Yeah, I thought that was a great article. I hope that you wrote it all down because I did not write any of that article down and researched another article.
So,
What article?
so Britt sent me an article, and it was the top 10 reasons why family is important. And I did some other research. Why family's important. We all do.
Absolutely.
But it's nice to see what other people think.
Carly's like, you're doing research on family. I'm like, well, I want to see what other people have to say.
Yeah.
I know why family is important. It's a support system. We'll go through all the gamut of stuff why families.
Well, that was the first one.
Support.
Let's just start with that one. That was actually the first
system.
one. Support system.
Yeah, it's a support system.
We got your back.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's how it works.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Do we not have your
Supposed
back?
to be like, what?
What? I mean, we may have not had your back when you were a little kid. I mean, I don't think any of us had each other's back when we were little kids. 'cause
We were
little kids.
building your character.
Yes.
Duct taping me to the floor.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep.
That was a fabricated memory.
Scarred me for life.
You hate basements.
I hate
And
dark.
D-A-R-K, D-A-R-K, dark, dark.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Scarred for life.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a support system. It's something that you can rely on those sort of people. That man that was about to jump off that bridge in England didn't have that support system for some reason. Who
Maybe-
knows?
you don't know- yeah.
I don't know his story.
Could have.
He could
and
have, but he
still
didn't
just-
reach out to them.
Right. Exactly. And that's another thing with
With family, you gotta let them know what's going on in your
and,
life.
and you hate to say statistically though with guys, we hate asking for help.
Oh yeah.
So we think of
I'll break my thumb before I ask for help.
right. Well, we think of being seen as weak and all that, and that's not the image that a lot of guys want to portray.
Can I just say, from a woman's perspective, when you show sensitivity and your emotions, it is actually a lot stronger and sexier to us than it would be for you guys to shut all that off.
that so true.
you. Don't believe me.
It is. I'm dead serious.
I know.
mean, to a
No,
certain
it-
extent, yes,
yeah.
we don't want a sappy guy who's crying on
No.
our shoulder 24/7. But I mean,
Because that's weak.
somebody
Well,
who is.
Being tapping into emotions. doesn't
Crying on
mean-
your shoulder every week is weak.
I'm saying we don't need it to that extent. Maybe some girls do. I don't know. But I'm just saying, a guy who can actually voice to you how he's feeling and be empathetic towards
This is coming from a girl that doesn't go to the nightclub at all anymore. Just saying, some girls don't think that way.
I was out till almost 3 a.m. on Friday night.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
just,
Yeah.
but
That's
you
a
know what I'm
whole
saying.
nother
You're
topic
married,
right
your
there.
kids, and all that sort of jazz. There's a whole nother mindset of women and things of that nature out there.
I know.
But there's
I'm
also
just speaking for,
you're also talking specifically about a small section of women.
right.
Right? Yeah, I am. I agree.
So I mean,
Not that I know what's running through their minds. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just DJing.
not every woman goes to the club looking for Mr. Right,
Love.
Mr.
Love.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Mr. Right and Mr.
Yeah.
Right now.
Thanks,
Yes.
Tinder.
Two different things.
Swipe left, swipe right.
Anyway.
Speaking of that,
support.
the second one was love for family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love is great.
LOVE.
I complete you. Yes. Sometimes people out there in life aren't going to get what they want. They're not going to find the right people
Looking for love and
looking
all
for love.
the wrong
well,
places.
Where you need to look for love is your own family.
Yeah.
You know.
They're going to be the ones that have the unconditional love,
Yeah.
or should. Have the-
Should, but you know that there's plenty of people
I know,
out there that
and
don't.
there's always going to be the exceptions. There's always going to be the yeah. Blood is thicker than water, right?
It
It
is.
is.
I agree.
Jinx. Well, wings.
Owe me a pop. Owe me a glass of wine. I don't drink pop. You're good.
I've got pineapple juice.
I have pineapple.
Pineapple pin.
Pineapple.
Pineapple, apple pen.
I really, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Another thing is they give you a sense of belonging. Family gives you a sense of belonging. Like you are supposed to be here.
It's your clan.
Well, yeah. I mean, your mother birthed you. You know,
Lifetime member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I legally still am a rotor, but I'm married. You know, it's
It's still your clan.
long story.
Well, your last name changed, but you're
didn't.
still
Kind
a
of.
rotor.
It's a
didn't,
hyphenated
though.
name.
but
right?
it's not.
It's
Nope.
not.
Legally, I am still a rotor.
Is Kai?
I love my husband dearly. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, Kai and I are still rotors
Okay.
for now. I mean, there's many reasons.
On
and
Facebook, it's hyphenated.
It is.
Yep.
On social media, it is.
But
Which also changed
But
it
the
in my
certificate
phone.
of marriage still has you as a rotor.
Yeah.
I mean,
certificate of marriage is still your maiden name. You have
Gotcha.
to go down and change your name and
but you didn't do that.
no.
Gotcha. And the reasons behind that?
She
you
likes
can't tell.
She likes our clan.
Maybe it's not for social media. That can be a conversation later.
Yeah, let's talk
All
about
right,
it.
fair enough. I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, just say you don't want to talk about it.
No, I'll totally talk to you guys about it. Not on social media.
And that's totally
Not on
fine.
air.
That's
Not
totally
on
fine.
air.
Yes.
Not
Never
everything.
know who's watching it. It's
Not
public.
not
Fair
everything
enough.
belongs on social media.
Fair. Sure.
Which is
Yes.
something I found out after being off for a long time. It's amazing what kind of a time suck social media can be.
Oh my
Holy
gosh!
cow.
Oh,
really,
yeah.
it's a drainer. My wife is actually abstained from social media.
Abstained.
Abstained.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, she's stayed off of it for almost 2 weeks now.
Nice.
She's popped on like once or twice. You know, like oh yeah, well,
I did cheat a little
sitting
bit
in the bathtub here
with Reddit. I cheated a little bit.
But
I don't consider that social media though. That's more of like a collective.
well, for the most part, she's found more into reading and the word and getting stuff done around the house and spending more time with Guyver and all this other stuff that could be happening where you
Now.
now that
In your life.
exactly you were spending an hour or two a day on Facebook. Well, that hour or two you could have been doing other things,
Right.
which is great that you're
I
figuring
think
that out.
I think they said the national average is like, I want to say it's something ridiculous, like 3 hours a day, which is
Oh, easily.
crazy.
I spend about 5-10 minutes maybe on the toilet in the morning or something like that, and maybe around lunchtime, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then in the evening, maybe I spend about 10-20 minutes. So in my life, Now you're saying on average. In my life, it's maybe an hour, maybe.
If you add all those 5 minutes up.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's normally what I do. I jump on to post a picture or to just check check my notifications real quick. It's never more than 10 minutes that I'm on at a time, and it may be, I don't know.
50
But Brian
times a
was
day.
saying-
It's really not 50 times a day. You guys are totally
Okay, you're right.
over-exaggerating.
It's 25.
But it's more like 5 to 7 on an average day, I'd say.
All right.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm on at least an hour a day altogether.
You're a
But I also run my business on social media, too.
right.
So,
Yeah.
that's a big aspect.
That's a
of
different
that.
thing.
Well, yeah, and we've got this on social media, so we
But
have to.
I
keep
don't
up with that.
spend much time on this at all. I mean,
Wow.
we do this on Sunday. There's
Right, but I'm
hour
still
or two out of my day on
yeah,
a Sunday. But
and I try and post things throughout the week.
well, and
on-
I update to YouTube and hopefully Spotify. Come on, I sent out a letter to them and was like, "Yo."
like a handwritten letter, like with a postage and all that.
Not handwritten. Well, technically handwritten on
Was
my
it
keyboard.
an email or an actual letter?
It was an email, but it was handwritten. I mean,
With two
it's a
hands.
keyboard.
Signed
I've typed on it.
All right, we need to.
Technically handwritten.
We've derailed a little bit here. We're going back to family.
What? Us? Huh?
Yeah. So you did belonging, and I'm going to do one that we actually just experienced a little while ago. Entertainment.
Absolutely entertains you. Family entertains you.
Oh my goodness. So
Nope, he's going to bring up that.
well, not only that. Okay, so tonight after
fair enough.
after we had dinner, because today's Easter, and we had dinner over at the folks, and then I went to my wife's family's for Easter, and Anna came over with her son.
Anna Banana.
Yep, with her son, and who is just turned 1, and they have a cat there. Kismet is actually
Yes.
the name of the new cat, and which is a really cool cat. But the 1-year-old was like super interested, like it was a mythical creature to this 1-year-old. Like, oh my god, what is that thing? Is so cool. And then he's just like so excited, and he went over there, and he's like,
Poke.
boop, and then he just like. There was a laugh coming from this kid that was like unbelievable, and the cat's like, "Okay, dude." And he's like, "Boop," and just like kept like touching the ear, touching the nose, and that cat's been known to bite. So we were just like, "Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy," but never did, and just let the kid do his thing.
Sometimes animals have that like sixth sense of.
But it was like we watched him for like a solid 5 minutes, just laughing because his laugh was.
Hysterical.
Like
so
full-on
contagious.
belly laugh.
Oh, just
Oh,
like
I love
it was so cool. So from an entertainment
Please tell me she
perspective,
recorded it.
we did not. Sometimes you want to
Fail,
just
Anna.
and that's the problem I have is with moments and recording and video and all that. It's nice. It is nice to have that to go back to, but for me,
It's
it takes
right up here.
it also takes away from that moment for me.
Yeah,
So
no, I
it's
get
such
that.
it's such a double-edged sword for me. Like I want to just be full on experiencing the moment, but it is also nice to have a recording of that. So how do you do both? That's tough.
I do it.
You
and then
create a
I
contact
sit, I hold
lens.
it down here. I don't watch it through my phone. I watch it with my eye. Does that make sense?
You
So
need those
Google Glasses.
or those drones.
Gosh, I want.
Have you
Google
seen-
Glasses. I
Or
talk
they
about
create
that
a
all the time.
contact, and you go blink, blink, and then it just starts recording everything.
Have you seen
I know, I have seen.
Black Mirror?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so Black Mirror on Netflix. It's a
Good show.
Yep, it's a series, but every episode is completely different. They don't tie in at all.
Then later on,
except
it
for
does.
so the big tie-in is it's all about technology good, technology bad.
Okay.
That is the only tie-in between everything. It shows the good side of technology and the bad side of technology. And there's one where we have these contact lenses that record everything, and then you get a chip implanted in your brain, and then it just records it directly to that, and you can zoom forward and zoom backwards, and you can recall your memories at an instant. You can throw them up on TV, and you can be at parties and be like, "Oh, remember when this happened?" You can actually watch it on TV from people's
It's
perspectives.
turning us into robots.
But then it gets into
I am a robot.
yeah, it gets into this one guy. He just doesn't feel right in his relationship, and there's something that's bugging him and bugging him and bugging. He just won't let it go, and then it ends up that she lied to him about something, and so they're going back and forth, and he found the memories like in her memory bank and like proved that she had cheated on him and all this other stuff. So it was it was pretty crazy, but I mean it's a really interesting show. But that
It is a great show.
yeah. Have you seen those drones that they're like the self self-hovering drones.
So I almost bought one. There was one in the works on a GoFundMe page, and it was $500. And you wear this wristwatch, and you can literally just throw it in the air, and it just follows you around.
You can work on hand gestures.
If it runs out of battery power, it'll self-land itself.
Self-lands itself?
Self-lands itself.
Right. School of redundancy school.
Exactly. You can have it. You can have it follow you in front of you, behind you. You can press the circle button and go around you. It also can get wet. Like if it falls in the river, pick it up. It's waterproof. Shake it off, throw it back up in the air. It's no big deal.
And
I was like,
why do you want a drone to follow you around?
For taking this picture, you can be
when
in
I
the
snowboard
moment.
and stuff. How cool would that be? Is this thing that just followed
so
me?
it's kind of like a GoPro,
Rope
but in the
rock
air.
climb. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from a third-person perspective instead of your own perspective.
I can understand that.
I thought it was cool. For $500. I was like, that sounds great, but then I backed out of it. I was like, I don't got that kind of money.
Like motorcycle enthusiasts are going to push that thing to its limits. Like, I'm going to do 900 miles an hour and see how fast this thing can go. See if it can keep up.
Well, but it only had a runtime like 20 minutes. So it's like, you can only go so far with it.
I know, but like, how fast can this thing fly?
Yeah, right.
I'm going to get my motorcycle up to 150. Can it follow me?
But it was self-aware as well. It knew where the trees were.
It is not self-aware.
Well, it was it was self-aware of the surroundings.
Let us hope it's not self-aware.
Yes, it was self-aware of the surroundings.
Yes.
All right, so number 5, family helps you make difficult decisions.
Mm-hmm. You can bounce your ideas off of them. You can. They will keep it real. Like with friends, they'll say, "Oh no, that sounds like a really good idea."
Because friends really don't know you as well as family knows you.
It depends on your friends. There are friends that will keep it real, and
those friends that you hang out with, like ride or die kind of friends, that probably know you a little more than family because you hung out with them a year longer than your family because you were in different positions of them. But family's always going to know you more than your friends are.
Mm-hmm. By and large.
Yes. Good
I'd
save
say,
there, Brian.
Do you guys ever go out and after we hang out with other people and we're together or two of us are together and they're like, they either don't know you and they're questioning that that's your sibling because you're so close, but like not in a weird way, or people that know all three of us and when they hang out with us, they say something about, oh, it's so cool you guys do dinner every Sunday, or I wish my family did that, or
I actually get that a lot. When I tell people that we try to get together almost every Sunday, it's usually 3 Sundays, but almost every single Sunday we get together and have family dinner. They're like,
well, there are families that only get together for like holidays.
Yeah, they're like, wow, or not even that, like once a year, like, oh, cool, hi pops, bye pops, like. No, we get together a lot more than the average family does, which is great.
You're definitely more on the upside of the family bonding and
which is great because
our
kids are cousins and they'll know each other more, than we even know our own cousins. Like it's fun to hang out with our cousins, and we do know our cousins, but not on a level that Guyver knows.
Well, yeah, but it's the same perspective of when we were younger, we were a lot closer with our cousins because of family events. Now that we're all older and we have our families and we live here and there, it's a little different.
We were only hanging out with our cousins at big events like Thanksgiving or birthdays and things of that nature. They're hanging out every single Sunday.
We weren't doing every Sunday.
Yeah.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
They're hanging out on a whole different level.
Right. Yep. It is funny. There have been multiple people at our church, because Erika goes to the same church as I do, that didn't realize that we were siblings.
Oh, I still get it.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Just on Friday.
With the blonde hair and the brown hair.
Probably, yeah.
I know. I'm the milkman's child.
Yeah. I mean...
And Dad is logged off now. No, just kidding.
You definitely got the Swede side, and I got the German side.
Yeah.
Which is funny when you think about it. I mean,
because all of our relatives in Sweden are dark hair.
Well, I was going...
Except for one.
There's like the German nationality, and then there was like, back in the Hitler days, the true Aryan is blonde hair, blue eyes, and that had nothing to do with German culture, because they were like pasty people, black hair, and...
Yeah, but you went like darkest... You have darkest eyes, darkest hair. Britt's in the middle. Then I'm the lightest.
And Dad's now
like
logged back on.
Trickled down.
Just kidding. Just kidding. But I did see 2 people. Now there's 3 people again.
Yeah.
You didn't ever bring up that with
No,
entertainment, by the way.
that was kind of funny.
I don't know why I'm calling myself out right now, but I do think it's
Yeah,
funny.
no, go for it. Shoot that.
Yeah, so there is a bottle opener over here, and it's got a picture of a bear with
They can see the
antlers.
bear.
Yep.
Yeah, well, they can
Right
see the
here.
bear, but they can't read the beer underneath it.
Yeah, so Erika just read it too fast and thought
Here.
it said bear. And
They'll
she's
be able
like,
to see it.
why does the beer have antlers? And I said, that's because it's a beer. As in a deer, bear. Or bear,
Bear.
deer,
Deer bear.
beer.
Beer.
Right, and I
Yeah.
totally didn't even read it as beer. I read it as bear, just because I saw the bear in my brain.
Processed it that
yes,
way.
my blonde brain, my mom brain.
There you go. Because with this is all natural, right?
It used to be before my mom brain.
Mom brain. I'm sure there's a lot of people that can relate.
Yes.
If Megan's still watching, get prepared.
I always say my first took my blonde and my skinny, and my second took my brain. So, yeah. Now it's reversing to get that back to myself.
Ginkgo biloba.
It's a longer process than it was to get it taken away.
So number 6.
Oh, yes.
They
sorry.
protect...
Well, we never really got into decision making. We didn't
decision-making.
expand on that.
Well, yeah, no, I think that we did. We know each other more than we know our friend. Our friends know us, and we're gonna help you through those decisions. You know,
But I think
if you come to me with a life-changing event, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna process that. We're gonna talk about that.
And it's not all of us sitting down together as a group either.
No,
We do go to each other individually for different
oh,
things.
absolutely. Fireside chat.
Yeah, we haven't done a sibling fireside chat in a while.
I know.
It's been a really long
But
time.
it's also been winter, so
I know.
and we haven't.
You know, I got a fire pit upstairs, and I got some fire.
I got a fire pit. She's got a fire
We
pit.
got a fire. No, I don't.
I've got.
Nope, not anymore.
I've got
What?
so
What
much
happened to your
stuff.
fire pit?
It
Gone with the wind?
collected rain and ended up rotting out the bottom.
Oh, okay.
There's an easy fix for that.
Not after
Get a
the
stone
trash
one.
man has taken it.
Oh, well. So Dad had one that rotted at the bottom, and I fixed it.
It was.
It's time.
We're gonna build one when we pour the patio next spring. We're gonna build like an actual
Nice.
like
That'll be fun.
legit.
Legit.
Yeah, I have big plans for that yard now that those trees are gone.
Nice.
Yeah. If you need some brick, let me know. I have some brick.
Maybe.
Yeah, with the decision making, I mean, we kind of touched on it a little bit with the. I know, like, true friends will keep it real with you. I do love.
Yeah, I did that.
Slow motion
Friday
footage.
night before I went and DJ'd. I did that. I sat by the fire. I enjoyed a beer and just relaxed and put my feet up, and it was so nice. There was actually a whole lot of wood in the back of my lot that downed trees, limbs. This tree in the front yard. Oh my gosh! It's like every day I come home, there's another limb in the yard. It's like it just rains limbs, but they're small, but they're already dried out. That's why they
Kindling.
fall off. So I have a trash can up front that I just throw these limbs in, and then I just bring that trash can back and throw it in there. It was great.
I can't wait to be able to enjoy my backyard now.
I've got a video for you, but that'll be later after the talk. Let's get to the next one after that.
I was trying to think of examples of these two, like
Of decision making?
yeah, like conversations that we've had or big decisions in our lives that
Oh, that's
we've
the next
made
one.
and came
Protects
to each other.
and comforts you.
I know, but I was trying to think of a good example between,
Decision making, life decisions.
but like a specific example. That
You're
like,
gonna marry somebody.
Yeah.
Come talk to me about it.
I mean,
You're
what's
gonna.
But
what's
I didn't ask you guys before. I got
no. You
married.
didn't ask
you
us,
guys
but-
didn't either.
but what is the
But we already had it. You already had our approval. That
When you bring
I was just
somebody-
saying, for instance,
when you bring somebody to dinner? What is that?
yeah, okay.
Okay, that's a hey, can you hang with my family? Whether you ask us specifically to test that person
Yeah.
or not, I mean,
Well,
that's,
and even after the fact, how did you guys get along? You didn't even have to ask. You just saw how we reacted.
That's true.
Because you knew.
And this is the kind of stuff that like I don't even think about anymore because it's just natural.
what you do. Yeah, what you do.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Big decisions. Like you're gonna change your job. That'd be a decision that you would go to your family about. Like, hey, I'm here now. I'm gonna try to be over here. before you actually make that leap, you're probably going to go to your family and say, hey, I'm about to make this leap. What do you think? You know, give me your ideas about it, you know.
I want to get a Kohl's membership.
You're not coming to me for that. You're not coming to me for that. You're thinking about having another child. You know, that'd be another thing that you would go to family.
Are you?
Well, I'm saying for instance, you know.
Mom wants 32 grandkids. It's up to you.
Isn't that? Yeah, that was her. Yeah, I think that was
Carly
her number.
comes from a big family. Why aren't you getting on that?
I don't think it was 32. I think it was like 19 or something.
No,
It was 32, was it?
Yeah, 32.
Yeah. We'll just leave it up to
'Cause
our
that's-
kids to have kids, and she
Well,
can have great grandkids, and then total it
Should
all up together.
Rosna, you know, should have brought us up as not Christian. Yeah, Christian.
Well,
Or
it
not
was
Christian. What's the other one?
Catholic.
Catholic. She should have brought us Catholic. Then we would add 8
It's,
kids.
it's
each.
funny that you
Should
disassociate.
have had more than 3.
It's funny that you disassociate Catholicism with Christian. I mean-
Right. Yeah.
Sorry.
Eh.
I'm being honest
I
with
think
the
you
wine
need to
here.
go to church more, Britt.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
changed. I switched it up.
man. Yeah. All right. You had mentioned the next one,
Yes, I did mention the next one.
protection
which-
and comfort.
Yes.
Yeah.
Protection and comfort.
We
you
got
know.
your back.
Yeah. You want a shoulder to cry on? Family's the way to do it. You know.
Well, and if they're in a bad relationship, you want to protect them from that. If they're
Feeling hurt and alone.
if dating someone that you don't think is right for them, you want to protect them.
Yeah.
When they go through a bad breakup, you want to comfort them.
And a family member calls you and is saddened by a situation, and you're like, I ain't got time for that. Shame on you. Your
Right.
family, you know? That's your brother. That's your sister. You take care of them. That's your, that's your loved one. That's your mother, your father, whoever that is.
I've told you about the mantra that I have the girls say every night before
You
first.
told me. You
That's
sent
it.
it to me. I don't know if you
Oh,
told
yeah.
Britt or not, but you.
Yeah, so I have a mantra. I have 2 girls, and the mantra goes, and I'm gonna just recall this from memory real quick, but it's, I am beautiful inside and out. I treat others with respect. I stand up to bullies for myself and others. I put family first. They are always there for me. I am strong mentally and physically. I love who I am. I do not lose hope. I am worth it. That's the mantra I have them say.
That's awesome.
Yeah, every night. But that is I put family first. They are always there for me. So it's
It's a great mantra.
yeah. It's one of those that came to me. It was literally one of those that came to me.
All right, wipe those tears, because those are good happy tears.
No, the first.
Do you need a shoulder to cry on? As he throws a towel. Oh,
I got you.
No,
I
just
got
like
you.
anytime I hear that now, because you sent it to me.
Mhm.
But like the first time I heard it, Piper, or was it Piper? It was either Piper or Brinley. Honestly, I'm sorry, I don't remember right now. But one of the girls came up to me and they just were like, "Guess what? Dad taught us this thing, and we say this every night." And like just completely recited the whole thing from memory, and I was just like, "That's awesome."
Yeah, right?
yeah. So, yeah, I think that
It's about building their spirit, building their
you-
soul.
we always joke about, especially being a dad of 2 daughters. We always joke about,
You're such an awesome dad.
Good job.
when
Good job.
yeah, when
My
they
life
start
is
dating,
glitter.
or when they start dating, I'm going to be the dad that polishes his shotgun on the kitchen table.
Oh, that's what Eric talks
Yeah.
about all the time.
I know,
I have
but-
2 girls too.
Honestly, I would rather raise
But
daughters.
we all know your profession, so
I know. Well,
you don't
that's-
even need to polish a gun.
That's what Lauren's like. Yeah, you have this and your prior military. Kids don't have a chance.
No.
Yeah, no.
To me, I would rather raise daughters that I don't have to worry about that they're making those decisions.
For
Oh, yeah.
themselves,
Yeah,
properly.
absolutely. So that's why the mantra. I don't want them. I want them to know that they are worth it. I want them to know that they can always rely on family. They need to put that first because we are always there for them.
Speaking of family, Daddy let me borrow one
Oh,
more bottle
look
of wine.
at that.
So wasn't that nice?
That was well.
So kind.
Yeah. Well, yes.
So kind.
Very
well,
nice.
I figured 3 people.
Why not each
3
have a
bottles.
bottle?
That's why I did too. I didn't know the
It's like
pours were going to be so
3-4 glasses a bottle. So
That's good.
it was.
But yeah, no, I think that in that mantra, it kind of speaks to the family aspect of it, and I think that more families need to be aware that when the manure hits the ventilator, your family's going to be there for you, or should be there for you.
And it needs to be taught at a young age.
Can you look this up,
To
Brian?
where they're growing up with that and having examples, and not just being words. It's actually following through with action.
Right.
Yep, making them be strong.
Well, you've got yourself some daughters.
I do.
And
some sons.
And some sons.
Keep talking. Give me a minute.
You're fine.
Yeah, no, he's looking up the
I
wine
have two
right
boys
now.
and 2 girls. 2 of them are mine. 2 of them are
And you can
bonus.
Why don't you talk about the age range and the difficulties with that? Because
That's a whole new episode.
I know, but it's still family.
Lightly
but
touch about it.
It's a his, mine, and ours.
True. Yes,
family,
I have
so.
the blended family out of all of us.
Family. I
Yeah.
can't sing anymore, otherwise it's copyrighted.
I have the blended family out of all of us. My stepson, I call them my bonus kids, not my stepkids, but to other people who don't know what bonus kids are, stepkids. So my stepson is 15, my daughter is 10, my stepdaughter is 9, and then our son together is 2.
Oh, he's such a sweet pie. He came
That
up.
kid.
He came up and sat on my knee like 3 times tonight. We were just hanging out. Everybody was. The girls were dancing and stuff. And he just come out. He was hanging out on my knee, and I was tapping to the rhythm, and he was kicking his little feet.
I swear
and hitting
he's
my
going to
shin.
be a drummer.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That kid-
Especially with those boots that you bought him. Those are pretty sweet.
I didn't
boots.
buy those. That was
Those
Eric's
boots are-
parents.
Those
Yeah.
are
Eric's
awesome.
parents got those in Colorado, and they are sweet.
Ooh,
Yeah, they brought him back a size 6, and I was like, I want him to wear these for longer, so I sent him back and got 2 sizes bigger so he can wear them for a while.
that's great.
But yeah, difficulties with that. Pretty much to just sum it up. I mean, we talk about sitting here about how family has our back, and yes, there's been trials and tribulations a lot. Eric and I have been together for 9 years tomorrow, and
Congratulations!
Yeah,
Happy anniversary!
crazy.
Their first date was on
Piper's birthday.
Piper's birthday.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's not anniversary.
It's our
It's
anniversary of being together.
Yeah, I was like, wait
Not
a minute.
our
You,
wed- not
I'm
our
like,
wedding.
you got married.
Right. So I mean, it's definitely, the kids were, super young. They were 1, 2, and 6, almost 7 when we got together. And we have dealt with, thankfully, we have not dealt with too much on my end, because that is a whole nother story. But, we've gone through our ups and downs on his end. And
Hey, Rich, long time no see, buddy. Sorry.
and the kids, we go through different phases of, respect and kind of lack of respect, and you're going to get that from your own children anyway. And we just kind of hope in the end that we raise them to have enough appreciation for what we do from both sides when they get older to be able to recognize that. And we're not perfect, but in the end, I'd do anything for them. I didn't give birth to them, but they are
you
still...
guys you got a great family. I mean,
they're
it's
still
a
my
blended family,
kids.
but it's a great family.
It's crazy.
Carly came from that. Carly, my
Yeah.
wife, she is literally your typical A+ Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Literally. Dad had 4 kids.
Here's
Mom
a
had 4
story.
kids. I mean, she is the typical grade A Brady Bunch. 8 kids in their family. And they made it work. They made it happen. They made it work.
Yeah.
A lot of kids in that family, not a lot of kids. Some of the kids in that family were a little crazy, out of control,
I know all of
to
them.
say that, yeah,
Most
to
of
say the
them.
least. But they all got along, and it was great.
What's with the circle?
I closed a ring.
You're
All right.
a nerd.
So, Brian, I want you to speak on this because I didn't have any information on this.
Physical rings. Okay, so this wine, it is-
Our last bottle.
yeah, Giovanni Rosso. It comes to us from Italy.
That's why I was wondering about the stamp on the back here. That's because of shipping. That's because of it's being
Dad's really
overseas.
big into French wine right now.
Yeah. So this came from
This is
overseas.
Italy.
That's what we were talking
that's
about.
Italian. Okay, stop it.
You were close. Okay, you're only a couple countries away there. It's all right. Not a big
Beer
deal.
bear.
Yeah,
Beer bear.
Southern European. All right. When you were,
Stop
if you're Rushing to the bathroom. What are you when you in it?
Yeah. So those that are connoisseurs of working at a restaurant and serving wine, I want to teach you guys something special. So
Squeeze the bottle. Just ever so gently.
Yeah,
and
squeeze,
just pops
squeeze
the cork
it out.
right
Yeah, exactly. That
was a Superman, sorry.
Those that work at
Don't watch Superman.
those that work at restaurants and are servers, waitresses, waiters, and all that stuff, take the knife, which is usually on.
Now, that is a waiter's corkscrew that you have.
This is a waiter's. It's a 2-tiered waiter's corkscrew. Usually comes with a knife on it.
Almost always, yeah.
And the knife, they usually what they do is they like take it and they go around the rim and they try cut and no, that's not the way to go. Just make a slice straight down. Just go, whoosh, and that way you're gonna just grab that and you're just gonna rip it right off. Well, that didn't rip because of the label there, but it should come right off. Don't try to make it all fancy, because what's going to happen if you leave any of this tin foil that's on here,
It's gonna peel.
it's just going to all of the wine's just going to go right into it. So just rip the whole thing off,
Or if you don't have a waiter's corkscrew, you need to grab a cutlass.
or a knife. Yeah,
No, a cutlass, and just like hold it in one hand. And
when I think of cutlass, I think of car.
a cutlass is kind of a sword, and you just hold it in one hand and just chink, cut the top off of the bottle.
Yeah.
Well, that more works for if
Champagne.
you're having champagne. Yes,
I know.
exactly.
I know. I was trying to make light
And
of it.
by the way, you should get one of these 2-tier system, because the first tier brings it up. Yeah, you go drink up, Brian. First tier brings it up about half inch. The second tier is going to make this wonderful noise. Ready? Yeah, it's a wonderful noise.
You should get a rabbit. Did you see the one I got Dad for
Yeah,
his birthday?
I don't need a rabbit. This is working.
Those
The
are-
thing
yeah.
is so cool though.
These
You
things,
literally just go kink, kink, and then you take it and take the cork and go blink, blink, and then it releases.
Yeah, but
It's
I have
1,
fun
2,
doing this
3,
one.
1, 2, 3.
right? These things will never break. There's very few moving parts in them.
No, I know. There's
So anyway, I should talk a little bit about
Cool
this
things
wine.
that you get, Dad. That's cool.
Yeah, the one that we have here is the 2014. So this will be the 14. We've done a 15 and a 16.
All the years, I
Yeah,
love it.
I know, right? This is
my mama-in-law just jumped on too.
oh, excellent.
Hi, Kim.
This is the Donna Margarita Barbera.
Could you say that one more time? Because I was wondering how to say that. It's
Giovanni Rosso is the
Giovanni
wine.
Rosso.
Donna Margareta, Margherita. I'm guessing it's Margareta. 2014.
Did you know that we wanted to name baby G Giovanni?
That'd have been cool.
That was legitly one of our names that we had picked out.
Really has nothing to do with our family.
No, I know, and that's why we're like, we just can't justify it.
But it's a really cool name. I've always liked that name, Giovanni.
Yep.
Giovanni.
I don't know why. And there's a lot
Or
of notes
it
on
would be
here.
called like G or Gino.
Geo or
Gino, yeah.
I could read all the notes about the winery and the specific area that this was grown from, but really I'm just gonna clinky before we drink it.
Yeah, no, Giovanni Rosso,
From
which I
Italy.
just showed at the up the camera. It's from Italy. Traveled a long way to be here.
Ooh, that's definitely a lot sweeter.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Woo!
Definitely a lot sweeter.
Which you would think something that's older wouldn't be as sweet; it'd be more mellow.
And again, this is just a red table wine, just like all the ones we've been drinking. So,
Very nice.
how's your 5-hour energy drink treating you?
Great.
Thanks, Chris.
I'm serious.
I'm drinking my coffee over here.
I'm drinking water and wine.
Well, I have water too.
Yeah.
I just happen to have my water in the wine.
If I would have woken up on time rather than setting my alarm for PM as of AM when it should have been set,
Yeah.
I would have been up since 6:40, but
That's all right.
been up since 7:40.
So Brian was talking on comfort. We were talking about decision making.
comfort.
We're talking about entertainment.
The next one.
The next one helps you grow and learn.
How does it help you grow and learn? Let's go with that.
So let's say you have a lot of failures or achievements in your life. If you have failures, your family's going to get with you and be like, okay, let's learn from this lesson and let's move forward. If you have achievements, they're going to back you. They're going to be like,
Party!
yeah, nice job. Good job. Keep up the good work. We're riding your coattails.
Graduated high school, you graduated college.
Exactly.
Had a
So
child,
family's there
got
for
married.
that.
Yeah, your job position.
Yeah.
promotions.
Well, and also they're gonna push you, like the growth and learning part.
Yes.
They're gonna push you, like, oh God, my life sucks right now, and gosh, I wish it were better. And well, what is it that you want to do? Go do it. And how do we make that happen? Those are the questions.
How can I help you?
Yeah, those are the things that families should be.
How can I help?
Yeah, we don't want to be enablers, but we do want to be the spark that gets you going, right?
Erika
Well,
just
'cause-
sounded like Alexa for a second. How can I help you?
Well, and because we know each other's,
Thanks, Alexa.
Yeah, I know, right?
you know, siblings growing
Alexa,
up,
tell me a joke.
you learn a lot about each other, and you learn what your
Alexa's
strengths.
pair.
Oh, gee.
Brian had a problem with pairing
I know.
today. Sorry.
I know, and I weirdly accomplished it, and I am
I
so
know.
technically
Okay, so
challenged. It's crazy.
Nice job, Erika.
My phone. Well, I think it was my phone specifically.
Sorry for interrupting your.
because when I got back into the car, it didn't pair to my car. So like, I think there was like a hiccup in my phone.
There's a
I've
warp in the time
never-
zone. Yes.
I've
Glitch in the matrix.
Yeah.
never used my Bluetooth ever.
Really?
Ever. So I was shocked that I got it to work and
Oh.
you didn't.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Anyway, going back,
What was I saying?
family,
Okay, that helps.
growth and learning.
growth and learning. I don't know.
Oh, growing up, we learn each other's.
There we go.
Life
Jogged memory.
has struck my brain.
Growing up. Let's hear it.
Growing up, we learn each other's strengths and weaknesses through
We do.
experiences and testing each other and,
Yeah.
you know, bullying
I saw you
each
fail.
other. in
I
a
saw you
sense.
fail. You know, I saw that.
Right, I know what you're
But I'm not
capable
going to make fun of
of.
you. You know, I'm not going to make fun of you. We're going to learn from
I mean,
Well, no.
maybe a little
You're
bit.
going to make fun of each other. I mean,
That's what
we're
makes
there.
It's
Come
what
on.
makes you stronger.
Yeah, we've got our own Razzies.
Yes.
With the family.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But, you know, potentially we understand what each other's strengths and weaknesses are in the aspect that I know what you can excel in. I know what your potential is from an outside perspective, even if you don't see that in yourself. You know, you guys can enlighten me on some things that I may not even think that I am.
Really, you want to be a surgeon? I mean, cool. You're
Creative.
smart enough to be a surgeon, but you know what? I think you don't like the sight of blood.
Right.
That might not be a good decision for you.
Let's think a little bit deeper, guys.
You're right.
But, you know, in all honesty, you see things differently than I see in myself.
Well, we always there's the internal eye and the
Speaking of surgeon, Carly, not my wife, but the other Carly was over at our house tonight, and she was talking about how she had to take a test on the things that she does in her life, as helping out surgeons, and she's like, they told me I need to know more than the surgeon knows, and I go, so are you getting compensated for that?
Nope.
Because like a
That's-
surgeon should get paid this. Are
welcome to being the life of a nurse.
you know, it was
You will know more than
It
the
was right there.
surgeon.
I'm like,
The surgeon is very specialized in what they do, but the nurse has to be very well rounded.
I just thought it was
Yeah.
funny. I was just like, so are you getting compensated
It's like
for
when
that?
I went to vet school, I had to learn all about the human body before I could learn about the animal body. So why not just become a doctor?
At that point, yeah, right.
You know?
No, I agree. Anyway,
Anyways. But, as I was saying, you guys see differently on the outside than I do in myself. And there may be things that I doubt myself in. And you guys are able to say, no, I've seen you do this, or I understand this from you, and and be able to point things out and maybe steer me in a different direction than I would do in my own head.
Yeah. I'm thinking of selling used cars. I mean, you know cars, but
I mean,
you could do better.
I'd be like James. You're all over that.
Yeah, like
Our adopted
seriously,
brother.
I know. Well, and for me,
Or
like,
Jamie, as
and
we-
I'm not putting down car salesman because for me, like, I love cars, and maybe in another life I'd be an excellent car salesman just because I know so much about every different kind of car. And that's just one of those things that
The
I do.
steering wheel adjusts, and you could move the seat
Oh,
forward and back.
I'm talking like package
Powered
levels,
mirrors.
the types of engines and transmissions in vehicles.
And I never knew that about you.
That's
Learn something new every day.
yeah. It's one of those things that I just like doing. Not that I need that knowledge. I just like doing it.
Brian,
You do have a
Brian,
lot of like useless knowledge in your head.
important
too.
question: Do you change your own oil?
I don't.
Oh, boom! All right,
Do you know why?
because it's easier for you to just take it in
He
and
doesn't
have
have the
somebody else do it.
time.
I don't have the time.
That too.
Yeah.
but I change my own oil.
The older I get, the more I realize where is my time best used.
I used to work at an oil changing place, so
I remember that.
yeah. There's a small stint in my life that I.
And as cars get more technical, I don't know that I want to work on a car.
Well, especially with our kind of car too, though. It's
Oh, yeah. My cars are simple and basic. Your guys' are advanced pieces of
Ridiculous.
technology.
Yeah.
So on to our next topic. Families help you celebrate. That's right.
Dun, dun, dun.
They do.
right.
I mean, yeah, they're at every good occasion. They're there for birthdays. They're there for Christmas. They're for Thanksgiving, Easter, 4th of July.
Graduation.
Weddings.
They should be there for
Right.
those things.
Yes. Weddings.
Yeah, they're there to help you celebrate.
When your child first learns to walk, first learns to talk.
When you have a child.
Do you still remember the fact that you were there for the first day that Kai crawled? Mm-hmm. So sad.
Yep.
You know what I got the first one?
Because we were babysitting.
Yes.
I was the first person she peed on.
Ooh.
That's true, too. Yes.
Love it.
I was changing
And you
her
know-
diaper. Yep.
Yep. Changing her diaper, giving her a bath.
Yep.
And
Hey, warm.
yep. And you know what I love now, though? And it's weird because I think about this often. You know, I had her for so long by herself. Yes, I have my bonus kids. We have them part-time, though. So it was just
I like
me.
how you put that.
I was just going to say that.
Bonus
I was
kids.
literally just going to say that.
Yeah.
Apparently, you guys weren't listening earlier because I've called them that several times.
No,
Anyways.
I were, but
Oh, okay.
it's just
I-
now it's reflecting.
I were.
I was reflecting in my mind right now.
I speak good too.
Sometimes I know good English and I talk very, and I make people laugh.
I speak gooder than you.
I do.
No, I don't.
Anyways. You
Anyway.
should do. It's
Yeah.
important 2 to
It
3
is.
times a day.
Wow, not 2 or 3 times, but maybe once or twice.
No. Legitly healthy is 2 to 3. Anyways. So,
Drinking that kombucha. Or the coffee.
Yeah. I like tea too. I like that fermented tea, that kombucha.
So,
Anyway, all
I
right.
had her for so long, and there's such that age gap.
Yeah.
And I felt, at the time I was working, full-time, part-time, and then full-time, and then, decided to stay at home.
You know,
how you do.
I just like how you put that. You
But
know.
I'm just saying, with her younger years, I kind of feel like I
Brian.
missed out on a lot.
We know. General
You
public does not know. Family knows.
Here's the thing. When It Takes a Village was definitely with her.
Oh,
I had the
absolutely.
first grandkid,
Yep. We watched.
you
We
guys
babysat.
didn't have
yeah.
kids at
you
the
guys
time.
babysat.
and, there's, your oldest is, she'll
9.
be 9. So there was a good couple
Tomorrow.
years there.
9.
Yes.
9.
So there was a
Is that
good
a
couple
niner?
years there
Niner?
that
You're talking on a walkie-talkie.
Walkie-talkie.
my oldest was the
Dumb
only
guy, dumb
one.
guy, dumb guy.
And it took all 3 of us while I was working and being a single mom
Yeah.
to raise her.
Absolutely.
And so I
My
had-
wife raised your child.
Yeah.
As well as me.
Right, and so did
And
they, and
and
so
Brian,
did
yeah.
I,
We
and
all
so
did.
did Mom and Dad. Like it all took all of us,
And isn't Erika now helping with one of your children?
She was
Or at
with
least
Brindley.
was.
Yeah, she was with
Well, it was
Brindley.
for a
And now
while,
you're
yeah.
now
Yeah.
you're raising Brian's
and
children.
it's great that we have that
Support
bond.
system.
It's the circle of life.
Support system. Family.
So,
What
anywho,
we're
I
just
feel like
talking
I
about.
have a different bond with her than now being able to stay at home with my youngest and experience those everyday things all the time and not miss any of those milestones.
Oh yeah.
And it's I don't know if it's a girl thing or a girl guy thing or whatever it is, because he's my son and she's my daughter. It's a different bond, but
Well,
I feel more weirdly everything that her and I have been through. I feel almost closer to my son because I get to spend all that time with him.
So funny
And
you
I'm
say
glad
that.
I don't have to share that with anyone
Yeah.
else, but I'm also glad that I got to share that with you guys, with her.
Funny you say that because Carly is a stay-at-home mom. I mean, I pay her to stay at home.
You don't pay her.
Well, he
Well,
pays
I
the
pay
way.
the bills. I pay the mortgage. I pay her to stay home.
Average mom should make $170,000 a year for all the hours and work that she puts in.
I agree. I 100% agree with that.
Yes.
Our household doesn't even make that.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
I'm like,
But if you,
I agree.
No, I'm just
Let's
saying
do
if
it.
you accumulate the different positions and the hours that the average stay-at-home mother puts in, it is equivalent to $170,000 a year.
She read that on the internet, so it's so true.
Well, it also depends on where you live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If it were California,
Average. Anyway, I'm so thankful.
I'm not discounting stay-at-home moms. by the way.
Yeah, I'm so thankful, and I'm so glad that Carly is a stay-at-home mom, because I would hate to have Guyver be raised by anyone else besides my wife. So,
And I will take
kudos.
it to my grave. I will be forever thankful that you guys were able to help me in that. Yes, I eventually ended up having to send her to a daycare for 2 years, but it was / preschool, so I mean it was kind of beneficial to her. But I felt like she learned a lot more with you guys.
That's called interaction with other kids. I mean, you
And I know
need
that's
that to
important.
grow as a person.
I get that, but the first few years of her life, she was able to share with you guys, and I think that makes her bond strong. I mean, you have to agree that your
And
bond
we're
with
thankful
her
for doing it. We love
is a
doing
lot different than, and not in a
With Gavin.
good or bad way, but I'm just saying your bond with her is a lot different than any of the other
I agree.
cousins.
I would agree with that. And I guess we should bring it up, too, because, I mean, you guys brought up your lifestyle, too. With ours, my wife works, and so we had to do daycare. Now, the daycare that we chose was somebody from our church, and she only took a certain amount of kids, and she only took teachers' kids because she wanted her holidays and weekends and
all of that to match up.
summers.
Match up, yeah.
Absolutely. So, in a way, she was part of our family for a long time. Not blood related, but she became part of our family because it was, she took, I think she takes like 4 or 5 kids and that's it, and like her kids are so bonded with our kids because they spent all that time at an in-home daycare. It wasn't, we didn't take them to a big daycare, and I'm not discounting, you take them to the zoo. That's an awesome daycare.
What a cool daycare.
I know. I'm not
It's
discounting
not even
that at all.
daycare. It's preschool.
It's
It's preschool.
Okay, yeah,
It's
okay.
preschool.
So yeah, you're right. Not a daycare, but still preschool.
But he only gets 3 hours a day, 3 days a week. So it's
That's
9 hours.
still
9
makes
hours
such
a
a
week.
difference, though.
Yeah. To hang out with other kids.
And animals.
And yeah, I'm like, Guyver, what animals did you see today? He's like, no, I didn't see any animals. I'm like,
You were at the
you
zoo.
go to the zoo,
Right.
dude. Like
I would hang out with the gorillas
so I
every
have
day.
to pose my questions to him.
Sit there and watch
I have
him.
to pose my questions to him differently. I'm all like, what did you create? What did you color? Where did you go? What did you do? Who'd you hang out with? Who'd you sit with? Like these are different questions than how was your day, Guyver? What'd you do? And he's just like, I don't know. Like we have this. It's called the Blooms app, which is actually kind of a cool app. The teachers take pictures and throw them on the Blooms app. They can update us about like school clothing. They can update us like, oh, hey, tuition's due, by the way, for the month. Stuff like that. Just
we got apps like that
It's
with
like
ours.
Facebook, but not Facebook. It's Blooms. Anyway, they take pictures, and so like I get picture updates. Like here's Guyver just hanging out in the IMAX theater with glasses on, and he gets in my car because I was able to pick him up this week from school. And I was like, "Hey, Guyver, what'd you do today?" He's all like, "Oh, nothing." I'm like, "So you didn't sit in front of a giant movie screen with glasses on?" He goes, "Oh yeah, the Max thing." I'm like, "You mean the IMAX?" He goes, "Yeah, that's it."
Yeah.
I'm all like,
Totally forgot about that one, right?
exactly. Like he just, it's a robotic answer to a robotic question.
Well, and the memory span.
Well, it's
You know,
just
how
about
that far
jogging
thing-
people's memory,
Right.
Like, I just brought up sitting in front of a movie screen, and then he's like, "Oh, I was in front of a
totally did
movie
that.
screen." Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's so cool that he has that opportunity to go there and
Absolutely.
see those things.
Absolutely.
He gets to go on the IMAX.
He went to the IMAX last Friday. Yeah, I
It's an awesome. Yeah.
He couldn't tell me what he watched, but they went.
All right. What's the? Let's do the next one here.
So we're about number 9.
Failures and loneliness.
Yes.
I couldn't be lonely if I tried, guys.
No. Brian, say that right.
Helps
They pull you through or help you with failures
No, I know.
and loneliness.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm
Not
just
that.
making a
Not that
statement.
family makes you a failure and lonely.
No.
They help you through it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I had to
I
restate that
understand.
part.
Clarify, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I couldn't be lonely if I tried.
Right, but that would again, when I was talking about a bad breakup.
Erica, that's you as a person.
Yes.
There's many people in this world.
I know. I'm just making a statement.
I know
based
you go
on
through
my
you go,
family.
You go through a bad breakup. You feel lonely. You feel hurt. You feel that you failed a relationship, and the family's gonna bring you through that.
Hopefully.
Hopefully not with like the
Hopefully
cliche
you don't
sayings,
jump off a bridge to prove your point, England guy.
and hopefully not with like cliche sayings like "there are many other fish in the sea."
Because they'll join the fish in the
Great.
sea.
I don't like to swim. So
There's somebody out there for everyone. There is. You just aren't looking in the right place. You're not.
we're not going to get into dating advice. Dating advice.
It's
We're talking family here.
Since we're talking about it, you're not going to find your loved one where you thought they'd be. You'll find them in a unexpected place. Where'd you find Eric?
At church when I was young?
Yep.
Okay, but you guys didn't date when you were young.
No. He had messaged me on MySpace.
Oh, MySpace.
Who remembers MySpace? The crowd that is listening to us.
And I didn't get it for probably almost 2 months because I never went on
Great story. I love it.
I never went on it. He was at basic training, and I literally had MySpace to post pictures, and I hadn't checked it in forever, and I went on one time and found an email from him, and he was telling me about this dream that he kept having and that he needed to email me and just see what was up. And
See, that's where I don't believe in coincidences.
right. I mean, this was like several times that he had this exact same dream. And then we started talking randomly, and he came home for his 4-day pass and called it quits with the girl that he was dating and decided that it was all or nothing, and went on his deployment for the first 10 months of our relationship.
This is what I'm talking about. This is this is exactly what I was just talking about. You are going to meet your loved one in a unexpected place.
Right.
Now, yes, you were kids, you grew up together, you were in school together, but you never did anything about it.
Well, we kind of dated, but not officially, like my freshman year of high school. And then we were, I'll keep this story simple and short, but my sophomore year, his junior year, we were supposed to go to prom together, just as friends, and then I started dating a guy, and about I think it was a week or two before prom, I said I should probably go with my boyfriend because we've been dating for like a month now.
Probably do. I
And
like how
so-
he said, probably do that. I should probably do that.
So he called up.
So how you doing? Does
Yeah.
it probably do that?
So he called up an ex-girlfriend, and they ended up going to prom together. And long story short, she is now his ex and the mother of his 2 kids, and we are full circle back together and together for 9 years tomorrow.
And then Brian met Lauren through church.
At the same place.
Yeah, at the same church.
Same church. But you guys didn't date while you were in church.
No.
Oh, and like her mom was our Sunday school teacher.
She's our mom. She's
Yeah.
she's part of the family. She's
Yeah.
our mom. She
100%.
she raised all 3 of us.
Nobody has a lolly like we have a lolly.
Lolly.
Yep. So yeah, no, we grew up at church together. We both found ourselves had a life outside of dating when we were younger, and then we went and did our own thing. I went to the military. She went and got her master's, and afterwards we just kind of reconnected. And it was one of those we were at church and got reconnected. There's a cooler story,
I know. I try not to like throw too many details in there,
Yeah,
but like
exactly.
the gist of it,
Yeah. This, which did we ever tell you about the one when we were talking about the names of this podcast? What one of the original names
No.
that I thought of, but it's tough because you have to really enunciate it. The original name that I thought for this podcast would have been "Sip at the Gist"
Okay.
because
I
we're
get it.
yeah we're sipping on alcohol and we're getting the gist of something and we're talking about stuff. But yeah,
Quick question, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that... Maybe I do know the answer and you've told me and I've just completely spaced. But how did you and Lauren reconnect?
We were doing the 511 service at church, at Trinity, when we were going there,
Okay.
and which was the evening service on Wednesdays. And we reconnected there, but we didn't really start dating until we both knew that we were both single. And then that's how we did a late night
stage.
Perkins till 4 a.m. drinking coffee and tea. And yeah, it was one of those.
So then Carly and I met each other
At the bar?
at Cigarros.
Cigarros.
Oh,
That's right. That's why we went there for your wedding.
Yeah, that's why we took pictures there. And I got a free bottle of Trump Bahama Bomb. Not Trump, the Tommy Bahama Bomba. Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, they weren't even open. They opened for me. There was somebody there, and they just opened the door, and they're like, "Well, here."
That was at the end of the night.
That was at the end of the night. Anyway, her Carly's sister Rainey worked there, and Rainey took Carly out on a random whim because Carly was just getting over some stuff, and brought her in, and I fell in love with her right then and there. Just like she came actually with Rainey and another guy, and Rainey came with another guy. So like there was like a double date thing. I totally snubbed that guy. It was great.
Cockblocker.
Cock block.
I kind of did. Just I couldn't keep my eyes off her. We had great conversation. Point is of this whole story is you never know when you're going to meet your family.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
And I'm not meaning brother, sister. I'm not meaning mother, daughter, family. I'm talking about your loved one that you're going to create a family with. You never know how you're going to meet that person.
Well, okay. So let's get into the last one, and then we should probably get into the after talk after this.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so the last one, reliable and dependable. That's why family is important.
It is. They are.
They're always there for you. Blood is thicker than water. When the manure hits the ventilator, it's still family, right?
Ventilator?
Instead of
Ventilation shaft?
when the manure hits the ventilator.
Okay.
I do have to add in there, though, that
That's a better way of saying.
it's nice when it's not something that has to happen. It's a choice. I think that makes it a lot better.
What do you mean, like?
When you're saying blood is thicker than water, and no matter what, you can always rely on your family. Not everybody's family is like that.
No, but I would.
But I'm just saying, it is an added bonus
I've met families.
when you make that choice to have your family be the first priority above anyone else, no matter what,
Well, and
rather
that's-
than it just being a have to.
And that's okay. So that's one side. And I've also met families where they don't do anything. Like, I mean, we're kind of abnormal when it comes to today's family,
I
right?
totally agree with that.
It's so
'Cause-
much more fun.
I know it is, and we are so connected. But there are families out there that don't get together at all, and you may see your
There's
siblings.
not family members out there that have radio shows like we do.
Right? Yeah. And there's family members that may only see each other once a year.
Yeah.
But like, if something happened, I'm sure that like, yeah, come on, you.
Some of the greatest movies are when families separate and they fight against each other. You know that classic. Here's the brother. They hate each other, but they make each other better because they hate each other.
Well, I'm just
movie.
talking about like let's just say you have a family that's not really as connected as we are, and your sister lives in
miles and miles, hundreds of miles away.
a different state,
Yeah.
and you lose your job, and you lose your because you lost your job, you lost where you live, and it's like either I live on the streets or I call my sister up and be like, hey, this is going on in my life right now, and they're like, come stay with me for a little bit, and then we'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
That's family,
Or
right?
they had the decision of, do I call my best friend
Yeah.
or do I call my family?
Right.
And then they have that decision of, is my best friend like family or are they just a friend?
Which I have
Where's
some of
that
those too.
line?
Yeah. Like Jesse.
Cassie,
That's
Kate,
family.
Him for a while.
Yeah.
Kristen, both my Kristens, all three of my Kristens. I have a thing with Kristens apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing when you look at like our family and there's family, like tried true, right? And then there's like friends. that are family, and like my kids call them aunt and uncle, and they're not
Right.
technically family.
And
but
have you noticed too that like our best friends also know all of us, and we can all consider them friends?
Oh, absolutely.
family,
Too.
Full
I'm a
circle.
family,
Family,
really.
right? But
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Sub-family.
kind of once you get close to any three of us, you're gonna know
All
of
three of
us.
us. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Once you're in our circle, you're in all of our circles.
Yeah.
You're in the inner circle.
Yeah. Right?
You're at the Light FM.
Yes. Thank you for joining us on the Light FM.
I had this video that I watched earlier today, and it really struck a nerve with me, and it has to deal
In
with
a good way?
I hope so.
in a good way in life in general. It was about this king, and he had 4 wives.
Which is pretty...
Finally,
Do you
I
know?
done it for no. You just had mentioned something about a king and his 4 wives earlier, and I was
No, you get to hear
now
the
I
story.
remember that you brought that up.
Yeah, now you get to hear the story.
Okay.
So it was a king, and he had 4 wives, and he was on his deathbed. He was laid out, and he went to his 4th wife, and he paraded her around, like gave her jewels and lavish goods, the finest of the silks, and it was just really made her the queen, and he was on his deathbed, and he asked her, he said, would you accompany me in the afterlife? And she's like,
I got a good thing going here.
she's like, no, I can't do that. And she kind of dipped out, so his 3rd wife, he went up to her, and he loved her so much. He showed her off to the neighbors, good companionship, and he said, hey, would you accompany me in the afterlife? And she said, I love my life. I have much to live for, but I cannot join you. I cannot go with you into that afterlife. So he went to his 2nd wife, and his second wife.
I thought that was the second wife.
No, that was
No,
the
it's
third.
third.
Okay,
So
all right.
4,
sorry. We're working
3,
backwards. All right.
2.
We're working backwards. All right.
He went to his 2nd wife, and that 2nd wife was always there for him. Thick through thin, 2nd wife, she is the woman that is there for him. And he said, hey, when I die, can you be there for me in my afterlife? Will you come with me? And she goes, no, I'll plan your funeral. I'll plan your funeral. I'll be there for your funeral. I'll care for you up until that, but I'm not going to come with you. I'm sorry. And then out of the darkness, out of the corner of the room, his first wife comes forward and it's like, I will join you. And he was really put her off to the side. Didn't really care for her. Almost had pity on her. Just was like, you're not anyone that needs to be. It was his first wife. Just like psh, whatever, first wife. But then he almost had to apologize to her. It was just like, I'm sorry. I should have been there for you. If this is the way you're going to treat me on my deathbed, and I asked my first or my 2nd, 3rd, 4th wife, and they wouldn't come with me, and you're there for me, makes you rethink things. I think everyone has 4 wives in their lives. So the first wife, well, technically the 4th wife. The 4th wife is your body.
Sorry.
You decorate your body. You put your jewels on it. You wear clothes and all that stuff. But you can't take that with you. You can't take that with you into the afterlife. Your 3rd wife also can't come with you. They're the possessions. They're the things that you have. They're their cars.
Can't take it with you.
Can't take it with you. They're your cars. They're your laptop. You just can't take that with you. Your 2nd wife is your family and friends. They're gonna take care of you. They're gonna bring you right to the front line. They're gonna plan your funeral. They're gonna be there until the end. But that first wife is your soul. That soul will go with you up to heaven. It'll be eternal, just like our Lord and Savior, or just like Easter.
He's bringing it full
Kinda,
circle.
yeah,
Look at
right.
that.
I was really trying to stay with you. I know I started giggling there. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I like the analogy on that one.
Yeah, I when I watched that, I was just like, wow. I was kind of empowered by that video that I watched, and I did it no justice. The man who did the video was way better than I was, but
Well, and that's why you need a soulmate in life.
that's right. You need you need family. You need
Boom.
someone to start a family with.
Not just a person. You need a soulmate.
Yeah, you need to find that
The
one.
yin to your yang.
That plus one.
Mhm.
Oh, the plus one that
Hey.
you have to do the invite with.
All right, let's wrap this one up and let's get into the after talk. How about that?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know what the after talk is. I haven't been around for the after talk.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Okay.
And it's going to be what it's going to be. All right. Yeah, we went through the list of family. We should have probably split this into two.
We probably should have tried to generalize more than just our family.
You know what?
It's hard to do, though.
Even though our family
I love
is
you guys.
This applies to a lot of families.
it does
I hope
well
so.
some things do.
I
but some-
hope so.
Yeah. I would hope that people would aspire to be like this, as connected family wise
Yeah.
as we are, because like what we got I think is really, really cool. I understand that other people live in different states. They don't see the family as often as possible. I get that, and I understand those people that just, God, I lived with my family for 18 years. I don't want to live with them any longer.
Right.
I know where you're coming from. I get that, but family is family, and like
You got to
they're-
take care of family.
Right, they're the people when you're down and out. They're the people bringing you back up and in your corner, going, you got
I got
this.
you. I got
At
you.
least
Or you
hopefully
got
they are.
this. You know, either I got you or you got this, depending on what the situation involves.
And if you don't feel that you're getting that from your siblings or your parents or cousins or whatever,
Have some fireside chats.
well, no. Not
Like,
only
get-
that,
get real,
if you
like-
feel like you are not getting that from anyone else in your family, give it and see if you get it back.
That's
If that's something that you
Put
fair.
yourself out
Think
there is what
that-
you're telling me.
Yeah, if that's something that you think that you want, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, that sounds amazing,
Or
but
that
you're not
sounds
getting
weird.
whatever.
sounds weird.
Weird is more fun. But if you don't feel that you're getting that from your family, try putting it out there and giving
To your
that to your
friends, yeah.
family
Well,
or your
friends
close
and
friends.
family.
What? Yeah, it doesn't have to be
Yeah,
blood
friends
related.
can be family. Friends can be.
It doesn't have to be blood related. But those who are close to you, if you do not feel that you are getting that from them, give that off to them. And hopefully they will see that and feel that and give that back to you.
Yeah.
Fair point.
You know?
All right.
All right.
Put it out there.
Yeah, this was episode
This was
55.
awesome.
Episode
This was-
55.
Great episode. 55.
55. This spiggity phone is 55.
That's right.
We've been talking on uplifting news. We've been talking family. We've been talking.
Uplifting news was a lot of fun, but family turned out to be a lot more fun.
Yeah, I know, and I kind of wish we would have done like a two-parter episode, like just split it. But I think we're just gonna let
I
it
think
be.
we did its justice.
Let it go and
Well,
let
you
it
guys
be.
didn't do last week, so
True.
this makes up
There
for
you
it.
go.
That's
There you
true,
go. It's
yeah.
a 2-hour episode.
Yep. We've been drinking on Sinister Hand from Owen Roe Winery.
Which was great.
It
we
was
did
amazing.
what did we do? The 15 and 16?
2015, 2016,
Yeah.
and both were amazing.
And both were different.
Now, what was your vote?
I did the earlier one, the 16. Yeah.
You wanted the 16? What was your
I
vote?
like the first one better.
Yeah,
The
16.
16?
Yeah.
16 was good.
Yeah.
The 15 to me was a little more mellow, and I liked a little more flavor profile.
Both were great, but the
Yeah.
16 one I thought was better.
I think it's a good for under $30.
Yeah.
That was a great bottle
For
of
a
wine.
decent bottle of wine.
I don't know what this one costs, but from Italy.
A lot more expensive.
This one's good. Giovanni Rosso. This is from Dad's Private Stash.
Thanks, Pops.
Only because he had 3 of them.
Exactly.
That's how I choose
Which
wine.
one of them?
That's how I always choose.
Which one of them we drank at Easter tonight? So,
Oh,
Nice.
so now he has one.
today.
All right. Well, I appreciate you joining us. I hope you gleaned some information, either the uplifting news that you didn't know about, or family. I hope you.
Isn't it weird that dogs go into bookstores and it's an abandoned dog and it takes a book about
you know that-
abandonment?
Side note, did you know that dogs are one of the only other species on the planet that feel empathy?
Ooh.
I thought dolphins did too.
One of. I think there's.
You touch it. Do you feel my pain, porpoise?
I know there's more than one, but it's a very short.
And
short
elephants.
list.
Elephants also feel empathy.
Oh, I bet.
Okay, so
They live for 1,000
pets that we
years.
can have in
Or
our
100.
100.
pets that
You
we
know
can
what I mean.
have in our home.
I want an elephant in my
Pets.
home. That would be awesome.
Good luck
A
on that.
mini elephant.
I'll
Can
let-
they breed that?
I'll let Lauren know
Is it
that.
an African or a European?
Can they breed that? Just be smaller.
Nice. All right. Well, I thank you for joining us. My name's Brian,
I'm Britt.
And Erica.
and this has been an episode of Drink Talk. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop.